Welcome to this special broadcast. Over the next 2 to 3 hours, we'll be having a conversation around the insecurity that we're facing in Nigeria. If you're Nigerian, you're well aware of the incident that happened in Maiduguri, Borno State, just over 24 hours ago, where we lost close to 30 people, as at the last report, and over 100 people injured in this, terror attacks that's happened in the last 24 hours. I'll be sending out the links, sending out the link shortly for you to join this broadcast. I decided to come online this evening because some of the images I saw, very heartbreaking. It makes you ask so many questions. I've got, my opinions on things, but I would also like to hear the opinion of Nigerians, the regular panelists and those who probably will be joining us for the very first time. Especially, I would like to hear from the people who are on the side of this government, who will probably speak on behalf of the government. I remember I was watching the show on Saturday or Sunday. There was a gentleman who joined and he spoke almost in defense of the government. So people like that, I would actually like to hear from them, what they've got to say. They probably know things we don't know that the government are doing or planning to do. So we'll discuss this. My sincere apologies for that. I just had a phone call. I've just had a family emergency, literally right now, but there's nothing I can do from where I am. But I've just had a family emergency, which I will deal with tomorrow. Once again, apologies for that. It's just life just happens. I wasn't expecting that, but I got a phone call from a number that wouldn't call me at this time. It's 10 p.m. in the UK, and I thought to pick the call because they wouldn't call me at that time. So I've had a family emergency, but we'll discuss this issue. So please forgive me if my thoughts are now disjointed, if things don't flow the way they would have until I got this news 5 minutes ago. Right. So, like I was saying, we had this attacks in Maiduguri. I think there were three separate incidents that happened with the bombings. One around the post office, it was reported. One around the teaching hospital, and one around the famous market. I think it's called the Monday Market. Around 7:20, 7:15 local time in Maiduguri. The governor is not in town. I think that's Professor Zulum. He's currently in Saudi Arabia, except he's back since the incident happened. He's been in Saudi Arabia observing the Lesser Hajj, and the president himself left Nigeria about 12 hours or 14 hours after the incident happened. He's come to the UK on a state visit that Mr. Bayo Nonuga has described as a historic state visit because this is the first time in 37 years that the Nigerian president will be coming to the UK on a state visit. In his entourage, the president decided to come to the UK with quite a few people. Some of them include Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Attorney General, Minister of Justice Prince Lateef Fagbemi. He also came with Minister for Solid Minerals Dele Alake, Minister for Information and National Orientation Idris Mohammed, Minister for State for Foreign Affairs Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, Minister for Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy Wale Edun, and Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Dr. Jumoke Oduwole. Others are Minister of Culture and Creative Economy Hanatu Musawa, Minister for Communications and Digital Economy Bosuntunji Bosuntijani, Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa, retired National Security Advisor Malam Nur Ribadu, and Director General of the National Intelligence Agency Ambassador Mohammed Mohammed. It is said that President Tinubu will return to Nigeria at the end of this visit. He will be meeting with Prince Charles III, sorry, King Charles III tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So those 2 days he will be meeting with Prince Charles and King Charles and Princess Camilla. The president has come with his wife, so they'll be having these meetings. It is said that there are some bilateral agreements, and Tinubu will witness the signing of landmark 746 million financing deal between the UK Export Finance and the Nigerian Ports Authority. So he's here. Seems like he's going to be busy, but one of the questions people are asking is, should the president have cancelled his trip off the back of what's happened, at home? It's like your house is on fire. Yes, you've planned this to see the landlord, but as the caretaker, you could have told the landlord to say, unfortunately, the house is on fire and it would be insensitive for me to come on this trip. You know, Your Majesty, can we take a rain check? Can we postpone this? That's, some of the questions people are asking that could this have been postponed? Also, uh, since this happened, I've looked on the internet to see if I would find a group of Israelis or a group of Palestinians discussing what happened in Maiduguri. Because every time things like this happen, I search the internet to see if I would see a group of, just random Israeli and Palestinians like we Nigerians are quick to gather and discuss Israel, Iran, Palestine. And I'm not saying, these topics are not important. I'm not saying the lives that have been lost in these needless wars are not valuable. But it beggars belief when you see the vigor, the tenacity with which Nigerians argue, almost beat each other online over this, Israel, Iran, Israel, Palestinian, Gaza, all these things. People pitch their tent with Israel or Iran or Palestinians. And oftentimes it's driven by religion. If you're a Christian, you tend to align with the Israelis. If you're Muslim, you tend to align with the Iranians. And people get really passionate about it. Since the October 7 incident, between 75 and 80,000 lives have been needlessly cut short. In the last 4 years in Nigeria, over 60,000 lives have been cut short, and we are not at war. Officially, at least, we are not at war. So when you look at these two and you compare them, I wonder why Nigerians get more passionate about the Israeli-Iranian conflict or the Palestinian one. Why exactly are we guilty of what we've accused the press of, that they don't report things that are important? Have we become insensitive to these things? Has it become like like the norm that people just get taken out in Nigeria on a daily basis needlessly by this you know terrorists, that we don't feel the need to have special conversations around it? If something like that was to happen, in a foreign land, Nigerians will be quick to gather to discuss it with a lot of vigor, with a lot of passion, energy. Um, I'm just thinking out loud. You even see some of our soldiers, high-ranking soldiers, low-ranking soldiers, that have been taken out by this terrorist. Has our president attended any of the funerals? Has he shown enough concern to say, I would attend the funeral of one or two of them, maybe the high-ranking ones. I don't expect him to spend all his time attending funerals because he would spend every day of his life attending funerals if he was to do that. But the high-ranking officers we've lost. We saw a video of Trump. Say what you like of him. He went to receive the bodies of the 6 soldiers they lost in this current war they are fighting. So something like that is quite symbolic for the president to lend his support by attending the funeral. It would be nice to see him around these people. He sends out a message to the soldiers who are still fighting. Where is Shetima in all of this, the vice president? If you remember, I'm going to play a few videos to back up some of the things I've said. With the Trump receiving the bodies of the American soldiers, and Shetima himself, prior to the election, when he was saying that he would tackle insecurity and he would lead our troops, and that the candidate at the time, now President Tinubu, would deal with economy because he built Lagos economy, in his words, to be the third strongest or largest economy in Africa. So if Lagos was a country, Shetima said Lagos would be the third strongest or biggest economy in Africa. So where's Shetima in all of this? And I think, is it not from Borno State? I'm not sure. Daniel Bola, while he's not very relevant, he's from Borno State. I like to believe. I'm not sure if he said much about this. The NSA has followed the president to the as come with the president of the United Kingdom, despite what happened yesterday. The Minister of Defense, the new one, Christopher Musa, has also come with the president. So you're thinking, if this incident happened before you guys left, surely changes could have been made to say, you know what, you don't need to come, attend to issues. I've read reports that the president has directed people, top security officials, to Borno State and Maiduguri. And this is what they do all the time. They'll go and sleep there for one night or 2 nights, if that. They did it, Yilwata, they would do it in Kwara, they would say go and sleep there for a day or two. When the dust settles and people are not looking, they quietly move back to Abuja where they're safe. Um, these are some of the things that have just been playing on my mind throughout the day, and I just contacted Rudolph. I said, you know what, I think I'm going to host a show tonight just to discuss these things, just insecurity, what needs to change. President Tinubu was very critical of Goodluck Jonathan, when he was the president. He tweeted so many times, the buck stops at the desk of the president. This insecurity is too much. If you don't know what to do, resign, step down. There was nothing he didn't tweet. Let me see if I can find. I thought I uploaded one of the tweets, but I mean, I'll play a few videos and I would share the link and we'll have a conversation.
I've been in the theater of conflict for 18 years. I will lead the troops. My principal is an economic wizard who transformed Lagos into the third largest economy in Africa. He will concentrate on the economy. By God's grace, I will handle the security arm. Not only handle the security arm, I will lead the troops to battle across the length and breadth of this country.
So that's the current Vice President of Nigeria, Kassim Shettima, before the election, saying that he would lead the troops. If Mehdi Hassan lays his hand on this man and he plays this video, or they put these things together, some people will say they've set a trap for him. These are the sort of things you would expect journalists maybe to be able to ask the Vice President. You promised this. What is happening? You've been quiet. In the face of this insecurity. And this is Trump saluting the bodies of the American soldiers that were returned in boxes. So right there, the president was there, the first lady, the vice president. And you can see the president is arrived in the UK. I think I have a video for that one. He's arrived in the UK.
Welcome, First Lady. Welcome, President.
The president, has he arrived at the hotel yet?
Yes, the president has just arrived. He arrived about 10 minutes ago. He is already in his hotel room. We all lined up to receive him. He's resting now with the first lady. They are upstairs, and we are downstairs here, trying to find where we can break our fast, because, as you know, this is Ramadan time, and it's just about the time to break fast now. So the president has arrived, yes, and indeed the scene here is that of persuasive expectation. Everybody here is happy and is excited that the president of Nigeria has come here. And this is a visit, as you all know, for the first one in 37 years, and the first one since the return to democracy in 1999. So much on the plate: security, economics, a lot of issues to be discussed tomorrow with King Charles, and then on Thursday with the Prime Minister's term here in London. We know that Nigerians are already aware of this. We also know that there is expectation that, of course, the president will get so much out of this visit for the benefit of Nigerians.
Interesting. Just before I come back to the issue.
Right. So there you have it. You saw, the fanfare with which the president was welcomed. Okay. Yeah, sure, Jagma, I got you. You saw the fanfare with which the president was welcomed. You couldn't even tell that anything remotely close to what happened in Maiduguri happened. If you didn't know, if no one told you, you wouldn't know that the nation should be in a state of mourning. But it looks like this guy don't care. These guys don't care. Life continues for them. And that's that's the conversation I want us to have tonight. What needs to change? Because Nigerian lives should matter. Currently, it doesn't look like it matters to the people in charge. So let's have a conversation. I've sent out the link. I would send it again. Please do join us. Like the stream. Share. So like, share, subscribe, and do all the fun stuff, so that these videos can go far and wide. The whole point of having this discussion is not just because we like to talk, it's because we want to enlighten each other or one another, and also inform people. Because don't take it for granted. Don't think everybody is as interested or as invested in these matters. I have friends who don't even know anything going on in Nigeria, and these are Nigerians who live in the UK. They've sort of disconnected. So one of the reasons why we do this is to enlighten people and to bring the news closer to people. So Tony, thank you for joining me tonight. How are you doing?
I'm good. Greetings, sure. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Until about 15 minutes ago,
Yeah.
but I'm good. Yeah.
Thank you for the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I'm sure you've seen my monologue. You've seen some of the videos I've played, and you heard what happened and seen what happened in Maiduguri yesterday. I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. What I just want us to do today is to have conversations around. Of course, people can bring up statistics, some of the things we get beaten down for doing. To say we just complain, we talk all the time. That's our job. We would talk. If people have solutions, can suggest solutions, prefer solutions, by all means, feel free to do so. No one is going to stop you from preferring solution. And I want to encourage everyone that would join today. Once you've had your say on this conversation, maybe suggest. I'm not saying prefer solutions. Suggest what you think might help us reduce or solve this problem. You might not know the how. It might just be a case of, if he's here, break it up. That's your suggestion, and it's okay to suggest. Somebody else might come and say state police. How it would happen, I don't know. It's fine. Somebody else might come and say recruit more people. Forefathers will say that recruit more people. Somebody else might come and say stop stealing the money that is meant for our military. So I would encourage that as we have the conversation today, just as one of your contributions, what do you think can be done? Some people might say change of government, employ people who care. That's your suggestion. It's have your say. So that's the conversation we want to have. So, let's discuss it around, is the president doing enough? What should he be doing differently? The American boots are on ground, but this insecurity seems to have gone through the roof since these American soldiers have arrived. Is that a coincidence? Was it a good thing in the first place? Are the terrorists swarming towards the Americans thinking, we want your attention. We know you're in Nigeria, then we're going to increase our actions? I don't know. It's just thinking out loud, rehabilitating these people. Borno State, this same Borno State, Maiduguri, they budgeted over 7 billion to rehabilitate these guys. So let's have that conversation. Let's make it robust. So Tony, no questions. I'll just give you 10 minutes. Have a, just go for it. I'll stop you in about 10 minutes. Of course, you don't have to exhaust it. If you've said what you have to say, let me know, and I would move it on to Ify.
Okay, thank you. Ify, greetings, viewers. So thank you once again. I was just watching a video, before I switched over to you, of a former military officer, a Nigerian military officer, one of those special forces that Jonathan trained, some in Pakistan, and they were one of those who were held and tried for mutiny, and they sentenced to death. But eventually, they got freed when pressure came. And he was recounting some of the experiences that he had fighting in the Northeast, specifically Goza. Now, you know that the vice president comes from, and you play the video, comes from Borno. Daniel Bola comes from southern Borno, which is, the epicenter of, this insurgency. Ali Ndume comes from the same area. And these things are going on, and you're wondering, these people who are close to the president, who are in the presidency, what are they doing? Why is this happening? So, listening to this account by this ex soldier, he said that when Jonathan was president, he did quite a lot to support them, arms, armament, ammunition, and welfare, and so on. And they were specifically trained to tackle this insurgency, sent to Goza. And they had, Russian ammunition and so on. They had mine detectors, sweepers, rapid firing machine guns and so on, and they were really doing damage to these insurgents. And you know what? He said that at some point, a report got to the top that they were decimating these insurgents, and so they had to recall those weapons, heavy equipment that they were using. For instance, like the minesweepers, it has a distance, it has a coverage, a radius coverage of about 300 meters. So all those mines that were planted and IEDs, they were able to detect them, and neutralize them, and so on and so forth. That was one of the devices that were called for, recalled, and they took quite a lot of them from them. And so they were very, very vulnerable, and they started losing officers, losing men, and so on and so forth. And that was the reason for the meeting. They said, no, until you get back those things, we won't fight. So they were held for mutiny and trial. And I just shook my head. Yesterday, I was in a platform where we had somebody from Goza talking, telling us on the platform, and some of us were shedding tears, how they had insurgency had decimated Goza, that today is a ghost town. But this was the place that Jonathan invested and made sure, that these things were nipped in the bud. Today, Goza is a ghost town, according to him. And I feel sad. And looking at the attack yesterday, Maiduguri, yesterday or 2 days ago, in Maiduguri, with about 23 people, according to news report. Maybe that number would have increased. 23 people dead, 106 injured, some of them seriously. In fact, hospitals are calling for people to donate blood and so on. And if you look at the locations, these were very, very busy areas. It's possible that some doctors, nurses have died because it also happened in the hospital. We don't know exactly the number. Casualties are high. In fact, from the report that we hear, the people who were killed, it's more than 23. That figure is the conservative figure. So we don't as yet have, what is being reported is just those figures, but we hear that they are quite high, and you will think that with this sort of thing, even if it's one Nigerian guy, that the president will probably say, okay, let me postpone this state visit and then attend, to the problems in Nigeria. Yes, he has made a release and so on and so forth, which we see all the time, people speak and so on. And maybe just to cool temper. Jonathan went to Maiduguri even at a time when Intel was against it. He put on his military fatigue, went to those areas. This president didn't go to Uganda. He has not gone to Plateau. He has not gone to any of those places in Borno or Southern Kaduna or where people have been killed. No. In fact, when he went to Borno, Benue State, he said he was a header, settler, a problem. Even when the thought he was telling him that it's not, that this is genocide. So you begin to wonder what kind of administration is this that we have. Look at the entourage that went with him. Not less than 10 ministers. And you did mention, you have the NSA. Even at this time, the NSA is out. The DG of the NIA is out. The Minister for Defense is out. Some governments are with them. At this time at the critical time when people have died, when you need to be home to calm down nerves and to take drastic action, the state visit can be postponed and you visit some other time. So I think our priorities are wrong. I think from the way our actions and the things that we say and the things that we do and in action, it just shows that this is a government that doesn't really care, that doesn't prioritize, the people, as its first main objective. This is the duty of the commander-in-chief that is sworn to protect life and property of the citizens. And these things have been happening on and on and on and on and on. And you hear a lot of stories and you just shake your head. How can this be happening in a country like this? Now, we're not all going to be complaining, but when you see things like this and you see people sponsoring, Nigerians sponsoring this kind of a thing, you wonder whether, listen, this is just beyond, it's not, the people are ready to fight, the soldiers are ready to fight. But it's like someone who is going to the boxing ring. You tie one of his hand and then you ask you expect him to win. So it's sad for me. It's sad to see these things happen. What should we do? I think the government should show much better commitment.
Okay,
So
if you hold that thought, Tony, if you hold that thought, because it's 9 minutes now. So in terms of what to do, when I come back to you, then you can probably, add that. I don't want to keep people waiting for too long before they get to speak. Forefathers, welcome to the show. Good to have you. Ify, I'm glad that you're finally back now. I see you on virtually every stream, which is good. You've forgiven us all of our sins. But Ify, you've seen the news, quite sad. What have you got to say regarding this incident?
Good evening, my brother Tony. Sure, good to see you again. It's been a long time. And my enemy, forefather. Forefather, I'm just playing. The question you have to ask yourself, do we even have a president? Let's even start from there. I know you have a prime minister in UK, right? You are safe where you are. Safe. You don't have to worry about anything. The question you have to ask yourself again, Tony mentioned about 20-something people died. Why should even one soul die because of insecurity in any country? One is enough. One. I was just coming back from work. I literally just got home 8. I was listening to Peter Aka and one other guy on Honest podcast. And I was just laughing, shaking my head. When I was going in the morning was when I started listening to it. And one young guy told the story of how he was kidnapped last year, October, and narrated the incident of what he went through and how he witnessed one of the people that was kidnapped got shot, one stomach, one, I think, heart. And they asked them to carry him and dump him in the forest, meaning that the family of this person will never see him again, even the body, to give him a proper burial. When you get a chance, go listen to that interview. I was crying. I said, apparently this man has a wife and children. Imagine the type of the mental state they will be in seeing that. The truth of the matter is this. Honestly, at this point, I don't think anybody has a solution except the government. How can you say that you catch a terrorist, you rehabilitate the person? Do you rehabilitate a terrorist? I don't understand that. It's just like in America. If you get a suicide bomber, you're going to rehabilitate the person and put the person back in the society. That is the reason why we are still having the problem one we are having today. I was listening to that interview and I learned so much. Look, if they want to stop this thing that is going on, they will stop it. For example, look at the young guy, the NYSC guy. I don't know if you saw that show. The guy, the copper that was kidnapped. Now, I don't know if you follow the case up until where it is today. I haven't gone to English Alaji to see whether they have released the guy because they were asking for one more motorcycle. They gave them 2 and they're requesting for 3.
They released them.
They gave them the 3rd one because I know Kiwi donated 1.3 million. So these people, they know where they are. If ordinary citizens, because I heard it was the family that went to deliver the money to the family, to the terrorist people. So if ordinary citizens can do that, you're telling me that our military people, the government cannot find these people? I disagree with you guys. So the problem is not the solution. And somebody asked a question, Peter, I think Peter asked a question. Where was the military people that we used when we fought the war? I think, was it in Sierra Leone, the ECOMOG and all those things, when we were sending our military to go and help other countries to fight. But we have insecurity in our own country, but we can't fight it. You said that, oh, we have America. It is not Americans' responsibility to come and fight for us. We have America in our country. Our health information was given to these people. Our tax information was given to France. So they can do that easily, but they cannot provide the easiest thing they can do. But our president is currently in your country. What does that tell you? He doesn't value, he doesn't give a damn of anything. The first lady was so happy when Trump recognized her. Oh, who am I that the president of the United States was able to recognize me? I felt like hiding under the table. Your house is burning and you are busy in another man's country. Like my brother said, why can't you postpone that? How many times have you heard your president give a presidential address? Trump is constantly addressing this country, literally every day, every minute, sometimes 2-3 times a day. Our president, I can't even remember the day we had like a president address the nation. Instead, in most cases, it will be a recorded message and they will come and play it for us. And this is supposed to be a giant of Africa. I don't have no solution. They have the solution to the problem that they created. So you asking me what is I don't have no contribution. If they want this to stop now, let me tell you something. You didn't see any of the military, any of the politicians' kids there. Tinubu is busy gallivanting from one state to another, distributing palliatives. Give him the ammunition, let him join and go fight the Boko Haram. That's what you need to do. He doesn't need to be distributing food. That is not the problem of Nigerians. Food is not our problem. Insecurity is more than this food we are distributing. But everybody, they all move around. When Sheyi is moving, you would think he's even, the president of United States doesn't even have the convoy Tinubu Sheyi has to move around. What's this guy? What's this guy? Help me out, show. The guy that won the Woloshenka.
Okay.
Even, criticize the son of the president. Can you imagine the son of the president moving with this convoy in a country where there is insecurity? And somebody said, hey, why is it that the Easterners are not enlisted in the army? I wasn't invited. I was just listening. In my head, I was like, if that's your child, will you ask them to go and fight? Initially, when I came to this country, I wanted to join the army. It was my friend that discouraged me. Akuda, she's in New York. She said, if you don't do that, please don't do that. I don't want you to buy. I've already packed up my bag. Because I looked at the benefit. I told you my nephew is in the Air Force. I look at the benefit for the country you want to buy for. The other day I said it, and forefathers, criticized me and was like, oh, we want to go serve in another country, but we don't want to do that I will not do that for Nigeria. Nigeria does not want dying for. And I say it and I beat my chest and say it. Because you're not going to send your child to go buy for 300,000 while the politicians are busy distributing palliatives. I'm not going to do that. So let us be honest with ourselves. If I ask you, Show, are you going to send your child to enlist in Nigerian army? You be honest with yourself. You're going to say no. See you shaking your head. If I ask Tony going to say the same thing.
Not the way it is being done right now.
That's what I'm saying.
When done properly, it's a honor. I would say
a lot of people will try.
If done properly.
Exactly.
If I know that, not money. It's not money.
It's not about the money.
Done properly, it's a honor. You see a lot of veterans in the West, UK, US. They are proud to tell you that they serve. You see generations, 3, 4, 5 generations serving in the military.
But let me tell you something, Show. Come on grocery store. You go to grocery store and see any of the military in their uniform. If they are all the way back, you see the people give them just to go pay and go. Thank you for your service. In fact, some people even offer to pay for their groceries because they know the sacrifice. The president will wait for them and receive the people that buy and receive their body and give them honorable, befitting burial. Have you ever seen Tinubu does that? Have you ever seen any Nigerian president ever done that? Because they don't value human lives. So, when you people ask, where is the way forward? I don't have the answer. They do.
That's fine. And I won't bash you or blame you for saying you don't have, because I'm one of the people that would say, if I had the answers, I'll be in Aso Rock. That's why I didn't contest. That I don't have the answer. So it's okay not to have the answers. I'm just saying for those who might have I know Forefathers has strong opinion on insecurity and how to tackle it. So for people like that, it's an opportunity to air their opinion again. Maybe we'll resonate with people finally, different opinions. At this point, we just need to keep thinking out loud and having conversation around these things.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, one last thing.
Back to what you're saying. It's different. It's a different thing if the government said, what is the solution to this? They haven't even asked us for solution or the citizens. Why? Because they know the solution. They know where the problem is coming from. That's why they're not
basically they're not interested.
They don't care.
Okay, yeah,
so
that's fine.
The things you are hearing today are the ones, there are a lot of people buying that you don't even hear about. It's just because of this one is a bomb blast and maybe happened in an open area. That's why you heard about it. Hundreds of people are buying every day in Nigeria. Now we have normalized it as if nothing is going. Oh, there is this thing. People will start moving, going as if these are not human beings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ify, for that. Forefathers, welcome once again. You've seen the news, so it doesn't require an introduction. I just want to find out from you, Vice President Shetima said he was going to lead the troops. He was going to be in charge of security, which at the time, a lot of people, were puzzled to think that would have been the president's job to be the commander-in-chief. But he said, once they win, he would lead the troops. We've changed the Minister for Defense. But this thing seems to be reoccurring. And also, because you are quite interested in geopolitics and you discuss it quite a lot, is it a coincidence that the American troops are now on ground and this thing has now gone up a notch or two? Is there a correlation between these two? Was it a bad move to have them in the first place?
Thank you for having me and for having, doing the live stream. And greetings to all the panelists, the chat, and the viewers. I don't know whether to tie the events to the American presence, but from the nature of the attacks, it spells that the terrorists are being defined. They are being denied space. This is part of the pattern you see when they don't have space. That's why one suicide attack, they fade away. And so it because they have to attack, I think Maiduguri is somewhere in the capital, so they don't have space. If you are like the villages and they had the kind of space they have in the village, they will do far more damage. They will not just do one suicide bombing. They'll do far more damage. And that is the pattern you see when you have denied them space. That said, I can link it to the Americans because it doesn't necessarily tie to they were bombing before too. Maybe they just want to get attention of the Americans now, because before they were not bombing Maiduguri, were they? So it's possible that is also the case. But it was clear Americans were not there to solve the problem, and they know they cannot solve the problem. They never solved any terrorist problem in any country before, apart from the ones they do in their own countries. And the only reason why they're able to do it because they have men everywhere. It's like they went to Afghanistan for how many decades and they didn't succeed. They went to Iraq, they didn't succeed. You can't bomb terrorists out of existence. You take space away from them. That is what you do. They don't have space to operate. They don't have space to plan properly. They don't have space to lay mines and traps for you. Then you've taken over the territory. The only thing they can then do is do suicide bombing, capture a facility and take people hostage. You know how you see them, they take hostages like in India or Chechnya or in Russia, and a few other countries, they do that. And then you see these special forces come and finish them off. When you start seeing those signs, it tells you that your security forces are beginning to have a handle on them. But Nigeria is far from that because they have too many open spaces to operate. And when they appointed this chief of defense, I knew that was just a joke. Americans coming is a joke. We've seen it. It's like you've seen it over and over again. If terrorists are able to be bombed out of existence, Hamas will not be standing today. It's very clear. And that's why America is not going to succeed with just bombing that country. In Iran right now, it is not going to work. And they know it's not going to work, except they have another plan. Maybe just to remove the regime. If not, if you think that if you cannot defeat the regime, if you are trying to defeat that regime, you can't. As a matter of fact, they removed Taliban from office, and Taliban came back again. It's like this is not how you defeat these people. If America wanted to defeat Taliban, they have to man the whole country like the way they man their own country. But they were not going to take 1 billion men from Nigeria to go from the US to put in Afghanistan to do that. So we know what the solution is, and we know our leaders are not ready to solve the problem. It's very clear they don't care about solving the problem. What they care about is what they are doing right now. They care about the approval of their masters in their head, and it is very alarming. I find it very alarming the amount of highly educated people in Nigeria that claim to be educated that still subscribe to this ideology of serving the British, the French, and the Americans. Like, it's very, very alarming. I would have thought, but after 65 years, 66 years, they would have grown a little bit more independent, self-realization. They will gain that. A child grows up, 16, 20 years, they begin to distance themselves from their parents. And then when you become independent, you start making your independent decisions. But these are our leaders, they are not doing that. Everything they do is linked to how these specific foreign countries feel. They don't care about China more, they don't care about Russia more, they don't care about India. They care only about these countries because that's the only thing they think about. Look at the Osage on TV, the same thing. It's really disturbing. And if it was only the top, if they were not also corrupting the people's minds in Nigeria, I would have said we have a chance to change it. But the people's minds too have been corrupted. This is why all of us are so happy to run overseas all the time. And I think I said it that day when I watched a video of two British people come to Nigeria. They are driving across the world. They were driving on the roads of Nigeria. Police officers stopped them. And those police officers told the two British people, England is our homeland. And the Queen is our mother. So this is at a low level. Police officers, like, they are not like highly educated. They still see themselves as an extension of the British. What does that tell you? That our leaders they never truly kind of separated us as an independent nation. They are running us basically the caretakers for the true owners of the country. That is what that police officer was basically letting the British know. Because when you see your country as part of England, as the Queen, as your queen, what does that mean? Your leaders are not your leaders. Your true leader is the Queen of England. That's what the people believe. And that is very, very disturbing. This is why our media, from what I gather, they control our media anyway. And our leaders are not doing much to take control and say, you know what, let's make our nation our own. And this is why they don't do that much. When you see that we are ethnically divided or religiously divided, they don't do that much. If anything, they are encouraged to keep it like that, because if they try to create a coherent, strong nation, maybe those their partners will not like it. Those their partner will start thinking, if you do that, you start having ideas. You start thinking, hey, maybe I should build some nuclear plant, and maybe I should recruit more. Maybe I should think about becoming a regional power, push the French out so that I become in charge. That is the kind of stuff they fear, and our leaders are not ready to ruffle the ship. For the life of me, why they think ruffling the ship is very dangerous, I don't know. Their behavior right now is actually far more dangerous. By pretending as if by remaining silent, your enemy is going to fall and die, or they are somehow going to be weaker against you. I don't know where they got the idea from. It has never happened for 400 years of our encounter with them. And when the Red Indians try to play that game, or the Native Americans, they look at the results. They didn't finish them overnight. They didn't finish the Native Americans. If you study all those things, you will understand that they will have agreement with them. Then later on, they come for more. They will keep coming for more. When they get more powerful and they feel like they need Africa for whatever they need Africa for, they will come for more, and they will take whatever they want from us. Because our leaders have not done anything to prevent them from doing that. You go and have meeting with Prince Charles. What are you bringing back? All your photographs of saying, "Oh, look at me. They invited me." Sometimes when I look at Tinubu, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm wrong. When you go to Nigeria, you see all those poor people, children, and they eat akara on the road, and they don't have clothes on. I feel like he's one of those who that grew up like that. Then he became big and rich. So he's so grateful to be where he is. He's willing to sacrifice anything to remain there. He doesn't care who he sells. That is the way I see him. I don't see him as somebody that really has real vision to transform the fate of his people. The only thing that is making his government truly function today is Dangote refinery. And he's not responsible for that. If you pull Dangote refinery out, God knows what will be happening in Nigeria right now. Okay. He set the economy on fire the way he did. He set the economy on fire, and people are praising him now for the economy stabilizing again, as if. So he should be doing it every year before you know that things are bad. No, when people misbehave with the economy will recover again. But you shouldn't thank them for wrecking the economy, because there's a lot of growth that we've lost. A lot of billions of dollars has been lost in Nigeria, even beyond what the national elites in the insecurity used to take from us. Because by floating the currency the way he did, a lot of people have invested billions in Nigeria. Do you know how easy it is? When you float the currency depreciates by 3 to 4 times. The property prices are not caught on to that. The property prices will just increase maybe 5-10%. Somebody will use that same money, buy Naira, buy up properties in Nigeria, buy in industries, whatever you want to buy in Nigeria. Do you know what that means in time? They just have to wait for the inflation to catch up. They'll sell a currency and then they are in billions.
All right, 10 minutes. Thank you to Niger for
Thank
that.
you.
Like I said, when I come back, to everyone, we'll discuss and suggest what we think the government should do, not what we can do, and maybe what we can do, because when it gets to that time, I would suggest what I think is the first thing to do, before everything else can be layered on top of that. I want to call you your name that I know, but I'll stick to the name you've chosen. You chose it for a reason. So, hello. Hello to hello. I want to call you that other name that we're familiar with. But thank you for coming. It's good to have you. Good to see you. Quite a lot of people from the UK, and Jagon's also entered. So quite a few UK representatives. So, Madam Hello, you've seen the news. You've seen the unfortunate incident in Maiduguri. Yet another one from Nigeria. What do you think we're not doing right as a people, that these things keep happening? The insecurity is not abating; it's getting worse. The president decided to travel barely 24, not even 16 hours after the incident. Should he have stayed back at home? Would I have sent a message, or does it mean nothing?
Hello, Show. How
Hello.
you feel, my sister? Hello, everyone else, for fathers. What's happening in Nigeria is not new, to be honest. To me,
Sadly.
I've long expected it before now. Just that it's happening now, but the handwriting had always been on the wall. So Nigeria is so divided and highly infected. So Nigeria is like a tree with infections, not just one type of an infection, different types of infections plaguing it for different structural reasons. And until those infections are cured, or the people who intentionally infected Nigeria is ready to help it get cured, there is no hope. I know we always people say it's good to be positive. I'm one of those people that outside here I would do my best to represent my country well, whichever way I deem fit, depending on what's in front of me. Yeah, but now I'm in the midst of my brethren. I speak the way I see it. If a house is rotten from inside out, there's nothing you can do until you deal with that infestation inside, be it infestation due to corruption, mindset, the fabric that is so dirty that it doesn't matter how many times you wash it, you try to patch it. It's not getting clean. So what do we need to substitute these rotten fabrics? How do we get rid of these rotten fabrics? Do you think time will do its magic upon Nigeria without Nigerians actually sacrificing something really, really serious? I don't think the president being here is important right now because the house is burning and they are the ones in charge of Nigeria. The citizens contribute to vote. Also, the citizens are important, but the ones who are actually making the laws, creating a extremely hostile environment for its youngsters to develop, are the ones to start with. Right now, they know what is happening to Nigeria. Who wants to destroy Nigeria? I'm asking. Who? I know that we, the citizens, maybe have contributed one way or another, knowingly or unknowingly. But who is doing the most damage? Who wants to destroy Nigeria? Who is destroying Nigeria? Who is destroying our country? Who? Who is responsible? Nigerians, outside hand, where he has come to kneel down before his God, God mentality that we have, religion, tribalism, all those things. There is no hope until we remove those diseases. We have to heal ourselves and teach our young people the right mindset, the fabric for success, the fabric for truth, justice, equity, dignity, law, to obey the law if someone is watching you or not. Without that, we can bring solutions. The people at the helm of our affairs that has the power, that has grabbed the power, like Kakawom, Caterpillar, and Asimodi, will do everything humanly possible to only benefit themselves and do not care about anyone else. I saw that people were fighting for food around the southeast that said Biafra. I'm like, are you guys crazy? Do you really know what you want? Today you say Biafra. What is happening? Why should anyone even come out if you say you want Biafra? I expected that place to be like a desert when the food stuff came. You know, if we really want to make this country better, we have something to sacrifice. They decided to use hunger as a weapon, division as a weapon, ethnicity as a weapon when it suits them, religion as a weapon, and we allow them. So why can't we citizens as well be responsible and say, never again? This time, we don't want your food. Stone them with the food. Each person be responsible to change Nigeria for better in Nigeria, outside Nigeria. The mindset of the Nigerians in Nigeria is definitely different from the mindset of the ones in diaspora. What is happening? How are we going to bridge the gap? Who is doing that work? Is Nigeria going to get better? Look at other African countries that wouldn't actually look at us and talk bad at us and now spitting at us because Nigeria is down. Who wants Nigeria destroyed? Who is destroying Nigeria? From the one, has Nigeria been set to be destroyed on this path? If we know that, then if we want Nigeria, how do we remedy Nigeria? These set of people ruling Nigeria are not going to be there forever. What about our youth? What sort of mindset are we helping them to realize? Are we educating them in a political way that you cannot make your country better by staying away from politics? Go play politics, learn politics, because it's the way of life. How I wish the Southeast played politics longer than now, like we are thought, Get to where decisions are made. Be part of the decision. Go to where laws are made. Stay there and do something right for your regions. Look at Ghana. In other platforms, they are talking about how they're going to promote their tourisms. They are saying Ghana is peaceful and nobody wants to come to a country to invest that is unstable. Security is very highly unstable in Nigeria. Of course, what do you guys expect? Did you expect that it's not going to be bomb blast? This is just the beginning until something, that caterpillar and cacaworm, is gone one way or another, because I believe there is a reason why this caterpillar and cacaworm is created. Nigeria don't belong to Nigerians. We're just living in Nigeria. Otherwise, the talents we have in Nigeria, why is it not flourishing in Nigeria? Why is it outside? And when we go outside, we say we are this and that, or I'm doctor, I'm this, we speak all the grammars. But when we come home, not much is happening. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
So
Thank you for that.
there is
Lots
no
of
hope
questions.
unless we change Nigeria. Each one of us.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you for that. So you've given all of us a task. We need to bridge the gap. If I didn't take anything from everything if there's one thing I, take from what you've said, is to bridge the gap. The people in diaspora and the people back home, to bridge the gap. And that's part of why we do what we do, to disseminate information, to enlighten people. I'm not saying they are not enlightened, far from it. I'm just saying we meet here every weekend and some weekdays just to make sure that people are informed, people know what's happening, and we suggest things that we can all do together to make things better. Thank you very much for that. Hello, not the other name. All right, Chim, I believe you're next. Thank you and welcome to the show. I'm not going to bore you with any questions. You know what we're talking about. I'll just pass the mic to you, and you can tell me, when you saw these images, when you saw the news, what came to your mind, your ruminations. What did you think as a Nigerian, seeing people of your kind on the floor, mutilated? I mean, it was horrifying to watch. What came to your mind? Because I thought the days of this bomb blast and all these things were far behind us. Not that the ones we were witnessing were any better, but I just thought those days were behind us. But now that this has happened, and as far as they're concerned, it's a success. We're hoping that it doesn't happen again. But what's your thought on this? The president being in the UK is taking everybody. It's like they emptied the house. If they had traveled before this, you would say, okay, they should rush back home. They left after.
Well, sure. Thank you for hosting this broadcast, and also thanks for having us, including me. Good day to every other panelist. It's become a pattern. I mean, it's become a pattern with this particular government. This is not the first time that we've had crisis before he left the shores of the country, before a planned global visit or whatever you may want to call it, and he still goes. This is not the first time. The last time he was about, I think he had actually left or maybe whatever, and then they turned around and came back, something like that. This is a president that didn't spend Christmas at home. I mean, everybody spends Christmas with their families, or for those of us who, with our typical culture, we go back home, whether we live in diaspora inside Nigeria, we go back to our local community, or diaspora abroad and you go back to Nigeria. But Christmas came and the man traveled. I mean, it happened. But coming back to your question, I would answer it this way. Last night, I was watching the latest episode of The Honest Bunch. I don't know if you've seen the latest.
I saw snippets. I haven't seen it.
I was actually going to send you something.
No, go the other corner.
No, it's a lie. You're lying. Sorry.
I was actually going to send it to you to tease you, to say, what is it with Ogun State politicians? And you know where I'm going, right? You know where I'm going. After seeing your brother Deyemi and all that he was saying, I was like, oh, what is this guy talking about? But something that we might want to consider, that Randy Peter, aka Peter Aka, said. He said that until the political wing of insurgency is properly addressed, Nigerians will continue to be collateral damage. Initially, he said it first, and I said, what's this guy saying? Then I thought about it. It sounds like a conspiracy, but it's starting to sound that it's actually happening. There are people in government that are aiding and abetting this thing. They're in government. And to reinforce this, my belief, I listened to a recent interview that there's this northern political woman from Borno State who used to be an APC member, granted recently, where she said Tinubu wanted to co-opt her before the election. And then she said a few things that she asked Tinubu, what do you have for what in the north? I can't come and support you blindly. I supported Buhari blindly. I know enough not to do that a second time. What do you have for our people up north? Because every northerner has become a potential victim of terrorism. And she said that the president told her, this is on air, this is not me conjuring stuff, it's there. Told her clearly he had no plans. That the only time he will have plans is when he gets into office. I said, how can you not have a goal, a roadmap on how to deal with this thing? She said, well, if I try to have a roadmap, they will kill me. I'm not making this up, I just watched it. So the point I'm trying to make is the government is treating insurgency with kid gloves. There's no country in the world where you're having this sort of menacing individuals and you go pampering them, you go calling them your brothers. If they're your brothers, they won't do what you just did in Maiduguri. Your brother is not going to be thinking of eliminating you or throwing a bomb. Especially, you would have thought that with the with the fact that this is Lenten and and Ramadan together, that somebody will say, okay, people are observing Ramadan. So what? And these people claim that they worship a god. What kind of God are you worshiping? So this is why you see that all this effort to gloss over the thing, provide them safe corridor, operation safe corridor, and all those things, that's treating this thing with kid glove. You cannot romance a terrorist. When somebody says, I'm out to decimate a society like Nigeria, government needs to take it upon it and say, okay, we'll match you for matching. So in my own view, I think I'm beyond Tinubu leaving the country without considering the fact that, look, I just had a crisis. And what is important to him is the optics of going to take photographs, he's starstruck. He needs to meet King Charles. He needs to, check that on his resume that as president of Nigeria, he had a state visit. Meanwhile, state visits can be rescheduled. You could call Prince Charles and say, King Charles, sorry, and say, listen, we just had a challenge back home. I don't think I'll be able to make it. Can we call this off? And he has to go. So those are some of the things that give an indication that the government is not serious. But I don't know if right now is the time to start giving solutions like you suggested. If it is not, I will keep it.
Yeah, but you can keep it, and we'll come to that in a second. But just to show you, I think this is the video because I saw it at the time when it happened.
The time he was sleeping, I asked him what he had for us up north because we have extremely serious security problems. He told me that he didn't have anything. I said, sir, you mean that you want to be president and you don't even have a blueprint? He said he doesn't have a blueprint. He doesn't have a blueprint according to him because if I have a blueprint, I'm quoting him now, then I might be killed and because I'll be stepping on too many toes. I said, sir, in that position that you are looking for, you don't think of death. You don't think of assassination. Anyway, that is gone. But I've been vindicated yesterday. Nigerians have been suffering for over a year for lack of fuel. And more Nigerians are...
Anyway, don't want to play.
Just to add one more thing. I don't know, did you hear of the tale of the young man from Ekiti State that was kidnapped in October last year? Yes. And in front of him, he gave a gory tale of how the person he was kidnapped with was shot. He was made to carry a dead body, go through it, the dead body.
Let's turn down the words.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
not sure what YouTube
My
is
apologies.
from.
And then eventually he escaped and came home. But meanwhile, Ekiti State government gave 15 million as ransom money for him that never came. That never came. It got into someone's hand and the person made away with it.
Interesting.
So let us think.
Thank you, Tim. We'll go to someone's playing something in the background. Is it Jagan? Okay.
Me.
Something was just playing in the background. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. I'll come to you, Jagan, in a second. But before that, just want to. Oh, where's this note? Oh, I put it as a logo. My bad. Okay, I'll fix that in a second. Delete. All right, Jagun, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. I've done my monologue, and I know that you were listening. You've seen what's happened in Nigeria. I know that this would, this would make you say some nasty things and probably the typical Jagun fashion. But what do you have to say based on what's been going on in Nigeria? If you were speaking to Nigerian politicians, if you're in the UK, I'm guessing London, if you were to make your way into where Tinubu is tomorrow, what would you say to him without not touching him, not laying hands on him? I'm just saying, what would you say?
You've cuffed my hands all. Firstly, good day to the whole panel and to those watching and those in the comment section. I had a word with Rudolph today. And I asked him, this thing that we're speaking about now, we're going to have a nice chit chat, and it's really going to be bantering rather than doing anything. And whilst I realize that it's very difficult for us in diaspora to really come together in agreement as per any solution that would make any sense, I sometimes feel that our hands are tied. Not. I think we tie our own hands. Hello came on board. Intimacy. I've forgotten her name. So sorry. She came on board and she
Mary.
spoke about
It's Mary.
It's Mary. She spoke about what we should be doing in terms of teaching our children to be political, which is very well, But mine is that our children, this is not their problem, but they're going to inherit it. And I feel that's a failure of our generation. It's a failure of our generation. And none of us is really ashamed of that failure. And what are we handing down, for goodness sake? We're not handing down anything that's going to make any sense for them. The time of life that we're in, the way the world is at the moment, Black people across the whole world don't realize in any way, form, or fashion that we are about to inherit the whole world. I don't think we really see it, nor do we understand the general politics that's going on globally to know how to position ourselves for that inheritance. And for that, I can only blame us. We've got to finish blaming our parents. We've got to finish expecting anything from the government. I don't know why anyone is expecting anything of decency, of morality, of leadership from our government. I don't know why we put ourselves in any position to expect such. And because I feel like this, I wonder what it is that we're really going to talk about. What are we going to talk about? Oh, Tinubu should do X, Y, Z. Oh, I don't like the way Akpabio is behaving. Oh, the government of Lagos, this, that, and the other. Bruh, all those things are terrible. I've got solutions, but I dare not speak about them, to be frank, especially on a platform like this. I dare not speak about them. Not because I'm afraid, because it won't make sense to many people. Most of what I have to say won't make sense. They don't know. Nigerians don't know who they are. And it's a shame that we, African people, Niger, we have identity crisis as though we were born into slavery. We have that same identity crisis. We don't know who we are. We're just fooling ourselves if we're pretending that we know. The closeness between Igbo and Yoruba is 2 centimeters. Let me put it in centimeter terms. That's how close we are. But you'll never guess it based on the conduct of our discourse. You'd never guess it. When I talk about our closeness, I'm speaking our language itself. Sometimes I hear Igbo people, I know they hear nothing where they talk. But when you break it down, the closeness between us in language terms is incredible. Incredible. Imagine. Onu, Inu. Imagine. But for us to hear these things is very difficult for us, much less to understand ourselves for some strange reason. We don't even want to come together. We don't even want it. So I'm traumatized, if you like, in my own way, in that for me as an individual to put forward and say that we should come together, unify, the kind of pushback that I would receive as someone suggested that we should come together. I want to try to come together for 60 years. This, that, complaint. No thinking, no nuance. No. What do we want to do with nuance? What do we want to do with nuance? We just want to end it. We are desperate people and we don't want any more. Okay, don't want any more. What you gonna do? Okay, you want Biafra. How are you gonna get it? Okay, you want Oduduwa. Which way forward? We're not making sense. We're not.
Have you seen the Oduduwa freedom fighter lately, Sunday Igboho? Have you seen him with the Tinubu gang now singing on your mandate and saying whoever doesn't vote Tinubu, is risking losing their life in the next election? Peter Obi is not allowed to campaign in the Southwest. Atiku is not allowed to campaign in the South. This is the guy that was championing Oduduwa Nation.
Now, this is the very thing I'm speaking about. We're not going to make sense. We are not going to make sense. Again, Ismail said that it is the diaspora that needs to really put things together in order to make Nigeria work. We've got a very short window in order to get ourselves together. And my fear is, unless there's a well-tabled, constructive operation to taking us forward into 2027, Nigeria is going to be enslaved. I don't think we understand how the whole globe is positioning itself for Africa. Africa should be the safest place in the world if there's a third world war. But my fear is now that the actual third world war will be fought on African land. I'll end it there and see where we go with this.
All right. Thank you, Jagun, for the contribution. So I'll circle back. I'll start from Tony. You've had your say. You've listened to the other panelists. In light of what they've said, the other panelists have said their contributions and everything else. What do you think we can do? Not what the government. I mean, you can say what do you think the government should do. It doesn't mean they will do it, but what do you think the government should be doing that they're not doing? And also, as citizens, which is the biggest office, the most powerful office, as a lot of people like to say, the office of the citizens? What do you think we should be doing that we're not doing? Maybe to force the hands of these people, because we want to discuss solutions.
Okay, just permit me, if you would, to just make a few comments about what.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah, what forefathers said. I don't think it is right that the reason why they are coming over to Maiduguri is because they are not finding enough space now. That's why his explanation of the recent attack on Maiduguri. No, if you go back to a few years ago, you'll find out that Maiduguri was very, very hot. I mean, they were attacking Maiduguri. There were suicide bombings. They were attacking markets. There were IEDs here and there, and so on and so forth. But when the military came, and reinforced, and then with the aid of the JTF and so on, they pushed them and they made it more difficult for them to operate freely in Maiduguri. In this case, there were 3 different sites that they operated simultaneously. So it was planned. There was intel, and someone came to tell the people, no, the news about an impending attack was a rumor. They should go about their various duties. So there was intel, but the intel was not acted upon, for whatever reason. So when you begin to read the language and the behavior of the authorities and the government, including the state government, you will see clearly that there are some 5th columns somewhere who have infiltrated the military, who are sponsors of this insurgency, who make money from it, because this thing has become a billion-dollar business. And so there are people who see the continuation of this insurgency as a way of business, of making money and reaping billions, millions from the government. You now see the government even going to give money to insurgents and denying it. Mediating with them and offering them money and so on and so forth. There are people who are pushing that kind of narrative. There are people who are pushing you resettle them, you de-radicalize them, bring them back in the military, put them back in the society. And that's the reason why you are seeing this heightening of insecurity in this area, for instance, and in most areas. Because you have to deal with the indoctrination process, first of all. When someone is indoctrinated, it is difficult, to get, because there is something that they have been fed upon, which is difficult until you take that thing out. There's no kind of deradicalization exercise, you think, and he's still within that environment, and you have not given him a job, and the situation, that is economic situation, is still the same thing. Illiteracy. I mean, look at what was done in Niger Delta. What Charadua did was to say, okay, listen, we're going to stop this, kinetic, this thing that we're taking. Let us, send these people abroad, train them, because education is critical. So when you have a mass of people who are uneducated, an idle man is the devil's workshop, that's what they say. So when you have that kind of mass, and then you now worsen it with, dangerous indoctrination through religion that you give to them, then it's difficult for you to actually deal with the situation by thinking that, oh, if they just confess, forgive them, and they bring them back to the society, the same society that created, that treated them up in the first place, and you have not done anything about that society, you're not going to have good results. And apart from the fact that, you have sponsors who deliberate, who are educated, the elite, who use these people because they want this status quo to remain. Because when election comes, these are the people they are going to use to fight their wars and to rig election and to do other kind of a thing. So this system, the status quo, favors them, the elite, the political class. So this whole thing is complex, because you have to deal with the level of education in the north, which the likes of Malam has for long been fighting against. The Rimis and Balarabe Musas, have been fighting against. But even the Emir of Kano has spoken about, about it. You need to educate these people. Northern Nigeria has the highest number of illiterate people. I don't mean that to demean the North, but that is true. And it's also tied to poverty. So when people don't have jobs to do, they are not educated, you can feed them with anything. They have been told that, if you are poor, if you are a beggar, that's how God wants you to be. So you have a generation, a colony of families, who have been, beggars, and they see it as a God-ordained status, and there's no need to elevate yourself and change your status. So those are very dangerous infusions, toxins that have been put into society, and that are helping to compound the problem that we have now. And then, of course, you have the issues of border. Our borders are porous. General Musa talked about, doing something about borders. Our borders are porous. When you throw your borders open to all manners of people, that is a problem. So it's a very complex system if you want to deal with. And then, above all, you have to have a leadership that is determined, that is intentional, that actually, I mean, just like the lady that you have said, Hajia Najatu, that you put out there. If you have a government that is not interested in dealing with this situation or in confronting it frontally, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, because they have the means of coercion. Okay, so these are some of the issues that I think that are germane. If you want to address this problem, first of all, the government has to show example, and from their body language, from the thing that they do, from their commitment, you have to, how can you give an instruction, for instance, to soldiers not to shoot? I mean, it was General Musa who tried to change it. Don't shoot until we give you the instruction. So even if you are being killed, we have to wait for instruction. Who gives the instruction for the military to withdraw? 20 minutes or 30 minutes before this terrorist come.
That is cool. Until today, nothing has been said about that.
Yes.
We listen. When they went to that school and took over 200 pupils, that's when they said, somebody gave instruction to withdraw the military, protecting them.
Yes. So did you listen to General Danjuma Ali Kefi? He came up several times, how he had written to the authorities, how he had set out a plan, for the decimation Boko Haram and their leadership and how they were, and how he was, eased out of the military, how he was locked up. Just because he was doing it, because he had a plan, an attempt, that he presented to, his superiors as to how to deal with insurgency. They took him away. They locked him up. So you are wondering, all these people, and you say these people are not Nigerians, and yet you defend them, you protect them. You don't, when they are arrested, you call for them to come to be taken to Abuja, and then you release them back into the society. So they now feel that there's nothing you can do to them. I mean, did you see the video? I don't want to mention of people whose heads were cut off, and there were people who were stamping on
it. Yep, standing here.
What did the authorities do? You see the video, you see their faces.
Yeah.
Did you see the one that Ife talked about? The one that kidnapped the youth couple and was asking for money, and he took a video of himself and the machines and so on and so forth. And we know that the authorities know somebody told us. Galadima told us that they know their location, they know their names, they know. So everything starts and ends with the government. The body language of the government shows that it's complicit. And if you have a government that is complicit and is not ready, is not willing to do whatever it's supposed to do, the NFA is supposed to be apolitical. That office is not supposed to be one that is political, or whoever holds that office should not be political. He is supposed to be an advisor. So what kind of advice will he be giving when he's biased? And when he's calling those insurgents our friends, our brothers? That's taking sides already, because you can't take arms against the people you call your brothers, and you can't do that. So the whole system, needs to be, you need to tear the system down if you want us to move, because this system is not self-sustaining. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. So from what you've suggested, some are long-term, some are mid-term, and some could be immediate, would yield immediate result. You've talked about education, which is long-term, which is important to start educating them. That might not yield immediate result, but over time, of course, if the kids are educated and they're employed, empowered, it changes things over the next 10, 20 years when we start seeing the result. You talked about porous borders. I'm not sure how and why that is so difficult, except it's intentional. You also talked about having the right leadership, which is where I've planted my flag. It's about the right leadership. If you have the right leadership, which is a very difficult thing to get in Nigeria by all indication, if you have the right leadership, I think it starts to change things. You can see even the states as a micro Nigeria. When some states get good leadership, you can see how the people are happy and things start to change in the right direction. It might not be immediate, it might not be, it doesn't turn to Dubai overnight, but you start seeing people saying, okay, our lives are better. The people would testify to say, we're having a better lease of life than we did under the last administration. Okay, so Ify, I believe you're next. So you've listened to Tony. He's made his suggestions. I know you said you have no suggestions, and if you don't have any, just tell me, I have no suggestions. And if it's just going to be break it up, that's your suggestion. You're free to say it. It doesn't matter. You just tell us it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
No. Actually, I was on the phone. Tony, I was on the phone when Tony was saying, but I remember something, sure. Good evening, Chin. And Jaco, good evening. So you were asking what we can do in a country where the president, they are paying billions of dollars to the terrorists. How are they getting to the terrorists to pay them that money?
Do you want me to answer?
Answer that question.
Sheikh
if they don't know what to do.
Sheikh Gumi in the last few days said the government knows. He said the government knows the name of every single one of these boys.
Exactly.
He said it does not go alone. I go with the police, I go with the military. So there's your answer. So knowing that, what do you think we should do?
Nothing. If they know what to do and they can do it, and they are busy
bribing. When we're about to close shop is when it comes in. God, help this man. Sorry, carry on.
Shenge. I hear you.
And that's where it becomes more difficult. It's a different thing if they don't know where they are. Because I think it was Abacha who said it. I can't remember. It's a quote that if insecurity lasts more than 24 hours, go and ask the government. And that's exactly the truth. So, I mean, if they're paying billions of dollars to these people, that means we don't have solution to that. I don't know what Tony said, but whatever Tony said, Tony, I don't know what you said, but whatever you said, the government has the answer. We citizens can't do anything. Now we citizens are even going to meeting them halfway, the terrorists themselves, and giving them the money, and they will take it back and bring the family out. They have, they have in their possession. So it doesn't make no sense. I don't have no solution. They do. Let them stop even giving bribe. People will always say, if you don't pay money, they will buy them. For how many people will they buy? How many of these people, how many are they? In a country of 200 and something million people, how many are these people terrorizing the whole country? I heard Kwara State, if you listen to that guy's interview, Kwara State paid 50, the people that was kidnapped in a CAC church, they paid 300 and something million. The boy said that they even pay for their own. They pay them 50 something million. But the woman who owns the farm kept the money and refused to release the money. So this is what we're talking about. I don't have the solution. They do. Until they stop bribing these people, will be better. But until then.
Okay. Thank you, Ife. Forefathers, I'll come right next to you. As part of your solution, I have an idea of your solution. Anybody who watches this show know one of the major things you will suggest, which should not be discounted by any means. But as part of that, I'm going to ask you another question. Just add it to your, add it to the solution or suggestions you're going to make. What do you think of rehabilitating these people? Having seen some of the things they do to our people, what do you think of rehabilitating them? Borno State budgeted over 7 billion naira. It's in their budget officially to rehabilitate these guys. Is that not encouraging them? Because we should be putting deterrents, not encouraging them to say, "Oh, go do whatever you want to do." At some point, we'll bring you back into the fold, And these things. What do you think of this idea of rehabilitation? Benue State is applying to the federal government to be given the go-ahead to rehabilitate 3,000 of these guys. What do you make of that?
I think it's a symptom of a system that is insecure, basically. I remember Babajide making an argument on TVC that I found quite compelling. He said, when the federal government comes and says, don't pay terrorists, don't sympathize with them, then they walk away and leave them with the terrorists. Then the terrorists come back and start killing them like the way they did to that village. What do you expect them to do? The state is weak. The state is not doing its job. And when you said something about they should not dismiss my opinion, see, the truth is that without the manpower, mark my words, this problem will never go away. What I'm suggesting, if they don't do it, this problem will remain because it's universal. Everybody else does it. I don't understand how else to spell it out for people to understand. Go and check the data out there. If you don't secure your country, you're going to get insecurity. The manpower, the people that we have in Nigeria, we're using about 0.1 or 2% at most to secure our country totally. Why is Israel using about 8% of its population to secure its country while we are using 0.2? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? And you think your country is going to be secure? It's like we can't keep behaving as if we want the problem to be solved and we are traveling the opposite direction. And our people, I saw that Bantu City guy that did an IQ test in Nigeria. I really think that there's something wrong with our people's minds. We are suffering amnesia. At the same time, we are also suffering an element of madness, kind of. This is why I said something catalytic has to happen to us. Because in a way, what is happening to us now is a blessing, but we don't even see it. Because it is warning us we have been vulnerable for a long time. Like some people now, some governors will do some things good. They'll be happy, oh, look at that, we are doing so well. But you don't understand that the clock that I am watching is a different clock altogether. The clock that says you can do what Iran is doing now. You can stand your ground and survive if people want to take your country. We are not even near that. We are not even near that. I'm telling you, Nigerians will be very happy if you just give them a little bit of good road, a good bit of healthcare. They'll be jumping and dancing. They think that's salvation. It's not. You still haven't fixed your country. But we will not know until we see something far worse. Until we see something we may never be able to recover from. Then maybe if we cannot recover from it, it's over, isn't it? The game is over. And maybe it's too late. Because the world is changing right before our eyes, and we still keep. You saw what Tony said. You know, I like Tony. He's very eloquent and all the rest of it. Man, he's an example of what I'm talking about. That we cannot fix this country because something in our mind is broken. Like the data is out there. He's worried about, they are rehabilitating people and all the rest of it. Those are all symptoms. Like I described, you know, even Babajide was describing it. You can't seem to understand what you are looking at. They are all symptoms of a system that refuses to secure itself. And they will ensure we remain like this until our people wake up and start fixing it. Is it not our people that sat there and left Nigeria to not be renamed? When you tell them, say, why do you care about the name? It doesn't matter. You tell them national anthem. Some of them care a little bit, but most of them don't care. Because they don't think these things matter to them. They don't understand statecraft. They don't understand nationhood because they've never had it. Really, let's face it, they've never had it. It's the people that just put it together for them. And the people that try to show them the path, they will fight them. They will tell you are stupid. Abacha said this is how it's supposed to be. It's these people that are causing it in the government. Even when you look at other nations, this is my problem. This is the only thing that you can use to prove truths in this life is something you can prove and show to people and repeatedly show it. If you check the data of Switzerland today, it's going to be the same today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, forever. If you check the data of US today, the same thing. The data is out there. This is not, believe me, this is not faith. This is fact. Why is it we struggle with facts? When that guy took that the IQ test in Nigeria, and I understood why. We have a culture that don't like precision. We literally, that's why our people don't pass. I've seen it in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we walk to a bin bag. They will walk to a bin where they are going to drop the rubbish in. They will drop it on the side. After they spend about 30 seconds, 1 minute to walk to that bin, they'll drop it on the side of the bin. And it will not matter. They'll drop our character lacks precision. Our culture lacks detail-oriented approach. Hence, you will be stressing those people out if you ask them to do IQ tests that request precision. You'll be stressing their mind out because that's not what they are used to seeing. That's not how their society is formed. Time to arrive somewhere is a suggestion, not a fact that you have to meet.
So have we always been like this, or do you think it's conditioning over the years?
It's conditioning over the years because they have not seen any reward. Because they've not seen any reward in being that way. All the people that are like that don't succeed in Nigeria. Because some of these people, when they go overseas, their IQ rise. The only IQ we have is a hustle IQ. It's a let me get money IQ. That's the only one we cherish. Exactly. That's hustle IQ is the only one we are striving for. So it's not about that one doesn't require a lot of precision. It's just deviousness. As a matter of fact, he prefers imprecision because he doesn't want to be accountable for anything. All he wants is give me the money, let me go. And I see that all the time. When I went to Nigeria, that is all I see. Like they will be around rubbish, they won't even notice it. They will leave and generator will blast in. They are used to it. They don't know how much mental illness that is being transmitted to Nigerians every day, but they don't do anything. They can't even organize themselves in a market square. That is demonstration of a society that don't cherish precision. Any society that cherishes precision, one of the first signs you start seeing is that they start fixing all those things very quickly. And this is why, even on this panel, you see that there is conflict happening and your country is being attacked every day, and somebody has given you the answer to the solution. And you keep still talking about other lower tier problems. Those are problems. Make no mistake, they are problems like rehabilitating terrorists, and sometimes there are insiders in the military that are compromising in the Nigerian military. Yes, they are there, but there are still 65 soldiers that died on behalf of that same military, on behalf of the people. There are still soldiers that are rescuing people. There are good people there. You can't use, because of those tiny amount, to completely for a kind of thwart or sabotage the actual solution to the problem. You need more soldiers. You can't, like I said, this is not optional. Like it's not even like you can avoid it. If you want to create state police, you have to create more security officers. If you don't do that, like say you want to create state police, you go and kind of cannibalize the national police and put inside the state police, the problem will still remain because you still don't have enough boots on the ground. That is at the core of your problem. You have to have people everywhere in Nigeria. Yeah, why would you reject that? We've lost over $1.5 trillion in GDP already.
Okay.
You need people to be everywhere. Even if you just to try it and see. If you put soldiers everywhere, where are they going to have space? You can see that they can't operate in the city. The reason why they don't like to operate in the city is because people are everywhere. They don't like areas where people are occupying. It's a common sense thing, but our people just keep arguing over things that don't make sense.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again for others. I know I've said this many times. Maybe you remember. I think if it's like trying to give, it's like medication. And I'm not saying sugarcoat it for people because we're adults, but I think every time you say this, employ more, recruit more, maybe if you add to it to say recruit more and reform, because what a lot of people's argument is, even if you recruit 5 million Nigerian soldiers, if the commander-in-chief or the people under him, as somebody somewhere said, take away the soldiers from the school so that these people can go and do what they need to do, and nothing's happened since. That school was secured. They had what you wanted, what you're suggesting. And honestly, I agree with you. We need more by all standards, any standard in the world. We're under policed, under secured. But what people are saying, some people are saying is the reform and the political will is as important as the numbers, because you could have 5 million soldiers. Tinubu's just left Nigeria. He took the NSA with him. He took the Minister of Defense with him, despite what happened in Nigeria yesterday. So it gives that vibe of we don't care. So even if you tell Tinubu to recruit 5 million, it probably would make a small dent, but not as much as you would expect. I think that's the argument of a lot of people who probably don't want to explain and they just tell you, go away with this, your numbers. It needs a lot of reform.
I think what they are missing
Sean, you are asking me a question.
No.
No, I know you were asking me why your president took the defense minister
sorry. Just 1 minute on that so that I can move it on to.
I think what they are missing is, when I say that, is because the system will start becoming self-healing. The more secure the system is, the more the good people in the country will have chance to start operating. People will start, the best minds will start returning back to Nigeria. Businesses will flow into the country. The system will become self-healing, and you're not likely to produce leaders like Tinubu anymore.
Okay.
That's why I go headlong. Just get these people in, then just watch the system start fixing itself.
I think Fafada is using the concept of use water to flush bad water. That's what we are using. Not knowing that it's different. If your water is poisonous, no matter how many water you put, it still remains poisonous.
No, it's not true.
That's
all
what
right. Thank you, forefathers. Please, I'll plead your indulgence. I know Ngozika is in Nigeria, and this is 1:45 a.m. It's Wednesday morning for Ngozika. So I'll let us speak quickly before I come to you, Lokopi. Please, I plead your indulgence, and Chim. Let's hear from Ngozika. It's almost 1 o'clock. Ngozika.
So much heat. No nepa. You don't get sleep. Now wow, Bele. Too much heat, though. Sorry.
Same money for diesel now. Which one?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Ngozika. Good to see you.
Mr. Shu, thank you. Thank you to the person that gave me their time to speak. I'll be very brief. For some time now, I've not been able to come on air, come join the program live. Sometimes I just force myself to come and I can barely stay. It's not for lack of data. It's not for lack of power. For the most part, I've been able to manage my power situation with as much grace as I can muster. And I speak as someone whose electricity supply went from 18 hours down to barely 1 hour 30 minutes in 24 hours. So these days, if we're able to see 30 minutes of uninterrupted electricity, we go to celebrate. So whenever I think of coming here, I just he's what's the point? What's the point? Some people are so set in their ways. Like, what am I even doing here? I'd be like, let's I didn't move myself to come here. Like, what's the whole point? But this morning I decided to join because I've said this on this show before. I was born in Maiduguri. So that place will always hold a very special place in my heart. And I still have family there. Until now, I have still not summoned the courage. As a matter of fact, the closest family I have lives very close to Monday Market. I was born in I was born in University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. So most of those places where those bomb attacks happened, they are quite they are not news to me. They are places I went to as a kid and stuff like that. And it's all given, it's just bringing memories of the height of the Boko Haram insurgency in the early 2010s. Anytime I heard news about Maiduguri, my heart will just skip, because for some people they were hearing news, but for me they were talking about somewhere I spent, I think, the first 3 to 4 years of my life. And then after my mom died and we came back, I think we spent, I don't know, but yeah, you get the gist. I came here because I want to start on a fresh page, and I want to announce it before I start. Every time I come here, I'm going to be cursing people.
We don't
I
like
am
that
going
here.
to be cursing people.
And you know.
I know. I'm going to be cursing people. I'm going to be cursing people because they don't care about me and I don't care about them. There is no point pretending anymore. I'm living with the harsh realities of being under the draconian rule of Tinubu, and somebody would borrow data. I can't even subscribe full MTN package for 1 month. Will come and throw me and tell me, should we tell you Tinubu will be a president in 2027? Bunch of degenerates. To me, I'm going to become, I've just told myself, I'm just going to become a Dr. Dameji issue, to be cursing people, so that anytime in the future these things play, I will just see myself cursing people, and I'll be using it to feel good that at least since I couldn't do anything, since I talk like a normal human being, and that one was not heard, maybe they will hear it, because curse used to pay them well. I'm not saying that I'll be cursing them that it won't be well with them. Like, the curse I mean is I'll be insulting their father, their mother, their generations. That's what me I want to be doing now. I'll be doing things that'll be vexing them. I'll be doing things that'll be vexing them, because you don't understand. You don't understand. These people they're no longer after our lives. Their necks are like this. Their hands on our necks like this.
I hear you, Ngozika. I hear you completely,
like,
because
do you know
I have family in Nigeria. And I speak to my mom on a regular basis.
You know the last time I saw light in this house? If I show you my freezer, everything inside my freezer is defrosted. This week I've given food away, food that was supposed to last 2 weeks, and degenerates. People that God will punish to their 4th generation. I cook and I put it in my freezer with the light I pay.
I feel you.
And I won't see light in 48 hours. And I give it away or it goes bad. And then when I managed to go out and charge my devices to work and come back, generator, I was in a meeting the other day. I was nearly let out of the meeting, work meeting, because of sounds of generator. And degenerates that it will not be well with their last generations who come and troll me. What did I do? I decided to keep my hand like this and walk. People think we don't used to see your usual stupid government gigs. You think we don't know how to become government or team online? You think such deals have not come to our table? See, this week alone, I can't count how many times I've said I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Like, it gets to you, it gets to a point, all you want to do is shut down. All you want to do is shut down. And it's even worse for me because part of a large chunk of my job involves social media. So even if I wanted to, I can't shut down. I have to go on social media every fucking day and see these things. No matter how I set my own profile, these stupid algorithms still bring it to my timeline. And I'm dealing with it, and people are there saying things that do not have sense. Look at what happened in Maiduguri. They are reducing the number of fatalities to 23. But if you call people in Maiduguri, they will give you the real figures. And you know Nigeria, anytime Nigerian government tells you 2 people died, multiply it by 10. That's how it works around here. So if they are telling you 23 people died in Maiduguri, it's a lie. I cannot prove it, but I just know it's a lie. From the days of NSAS, that is when my eye opened in this stupid country. Like, they tell you 2 people died, just go and do the maths in your head and make peace with it. And now I'm going to, this is 12:52. If I am lucky, the next time I will see light is around 4 a.m. By the time I'm supposed to be fully asleep, maybe they'll flash it for 30 minutes. And I am told that there is no resolution in sight for the foreseeable future. That the Southeast went from receiving 1,000 plus megawatts of electricity to reducing just about 100, and the whole of the Southeast. And it is government sanctioned, or whoever sanctioned this. And I'm asking this person that is telling me this, because this person works with the distribution company. I'm asking this person, how is that possible? The person said they can only distribute what they are giving. So for the band A people, currently they're getting 4 hours of light. For we that have been downgraded to band C, we are getting barely 1 hour of light in 24 hours. I don't even own a gen, but if I did, I would have to be buying fuel of 1,003. That is if I did, and I won't be able to walk with the noise, because where will I put the gen? In my corridor? Even if I put it in my back corridor and shut the door and shut the window, I have a phobia for the fumes. In my head, I'll be imagining that the fumes will be coming in here and it will choke me or something. And the noise, I won't be able to concentrate. I won't be able to do anything. And if I say, let me go to Cafe One, carry my system and carry everything and go to Cafe One and go and walk, each day, 5,000 naira, as at last year, I don't know about now. That is minus the transport to get here. So where do you want me, somebody like this now, where do you want me to start from? Where do you want me to just come? How do you want me to start coming here and with clear mind and diplomacy and tact, listen to people downplay my lived experience? That is what I came to ask. How do you want me to come here and every single day listen to people in the name of diplomacy and political correctness tell me waka to my face? Where do you want me to start from? How do you want me to take it? That's what I came to say. I'm going to bed. I'll stick around for a while just to see if I can, because the sleep is not even coming.
Ngo, I wish I can show you my phone. Ngo, I have your number. I'm gonna send you a screenshot. Yesterday, because you are talking about electricity, my father's youngest brother, that is my uncle, we lost so much. called me and was complaining about this electricity because my father's the eldest of them passed, so they'll be doing the funeral and all that stuff. And he was saying that, oh, there is no light in any way, blah, 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 blah. He's older. He lives in Port Harcourt. I don't know how this is going to go. We're talking about getting generator, but if we get a generator, how are we going to power it with electricity, with fuel? And I said, yes, it doesn't make sense. And he said, okay, they started contemplating about solar, solar. And he said, oh, the guy that lives in your boys' quarter, your father's boys' quarter, he installs solar. I've called him to take a measurement and all that stuff, how much it's going to cost. After everything, and he said, the only thing he's asking, God bear me witness, is 1.5, right? I said, okay. I said, I'm going to give you 1,100, which is equivalent to 1.5. This evening, I said, when I get home, I'm going to send the money. That's what he told me. Please make it up to 2 million. That the price that he said, thought they're going to, they told him it wasn't true. Because I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you.
I'm with you on that.
To me, I'm getting older. The only thing I'm asking for is electricity and nothing more. If you guys can give me electricity, this solar panel, solar thing will be fine.
I'm with you on that. Ify, just to chime in on that, I was saying that I speak to my mom quite regularly these days because she's very old, and she was telling me that every day, every single day, the money she spends on petrol to power our generator is, in a month, what she spent on petrol is over 300K a month. Every month. So when she told me that, I said, this is not sustainable. We need to do solar. And I, toyed with the idea of solar about 4 or 5 years ago. I got a quote then, and I got a quote from that same guy. You won't believe the difference in price because there's demand for it. So the prices have gone up for solar. And if the presidents, Aso Rock, they've gone off grid or they are going off grid completely. So if your president who promised you electricity has decided to say, I can't deal with NEPA, and is gone to install solar at Aso Rock, and the defenders of this government will tell you, oh, but they have solar at White House. As if it's the same thing. So the president cannot rely on on NEPA. He's gone off grid. So what hope do you have? The Minister for Power, Bayo Adelabu, wants to be governor for your state. He tried in 2019. He lost to Sheyi Makinde. They compensated him to be Minister of Power. This guy this week, no, what's today? Last week.
Late
last week, this guy was saying that the president, he said we should be patient with the president, that the president is promising us electricity. Sorry, you are the Minister for Power.
Mind you, he's contesting, he's going to contest for your state governor, right?
He was speaking as if he's not even remotely connected to that ministry. You're the Minister for Power. You're saying after 3 years in office that the president is promising us power, that we should be patient. Anyway, Lokopi. And Ungozika, I'm sorry to hear about your ordeal. A lot of people are going through similar. If you go on the internet, so many businesses complaining about how they're good.
The only thing I want, please. The only thing I want is when I want to start insulting people, nobody should hold me, please. That's the only way I can deal with it.
We don't do that.
I won't let. I know the rules. I won't let YouTube ban us, but that's the only way I can.
In the comment section, okay, no. In the comment section,
I can feel your pain.
In the comment section,
it's not about the ban. It's about when you curse somebody or abuse somebody, they would fight back, and they should. You see the relative peace we're enjoying.
It's not online. Even necessary, to be honest.
Or online, so it would degenerate to mudslinging. Lokopi, welcome to the show. We have 1 hour to go before we close shop. What do you have to say to this? So the conversation, let's drive it back to what it was. So the conversation is regarding
the same problems that she described, though, like that noise issue. Solar, having to negotiate solar. I had to rely on solar. I deal with Nigerians every single day. People don't know that, but I deal with their issues every single day. And there is the option, just in case you don't know, there is the option of paying gradually, 2 payments of, you know, if you want to pay for solar. It depends on the KVA you are going for. It depends on the KVA you are going for. And the data issues is all when I was in Nigeria, I couldn't come online. It's horrible.
Those
horrible.
Sure. I think we should be very careful pushing this solar power thing, because if you look at what is involved in it, you have to deal with batteries. They are fake batteries.
Oh, yes.
You have to get seal-lead batteries. Okay, you have to get all the accessories that you have to get. You have to make sure. Then the installation, and then at the end of the day, it's not a lifelong thing, because it has a lifespan. So you keep changing batteries, and you keep changing, burnt out, devices and stuff like that. So if you use it for up to, you find out that it's not even a viable option.
It's not guaranteed.
It's not
guaranteed. Like so they do break down, and they don't have. No. Let me describe some of the practicalities. You can have solar, which I have managed to do, generator, and still have the mains, and the whole thing will break down. Sometimes the generator will break down. You don't have somebody to fix it. Sometimes the solar itself will fail. The people and their technical support is not there. Like they will blow through all the system. You will have even multiple generations, and they will still blow through all the systems because everything is designed to damage your. You know, in Nigeria, power will come and they will go. It will come. It will go. It's like they want to damage your equipment. I've used pieces in the UK for years, no problem. You take them to Nigeria, within months it breaks down. Within months it breaks down because on off. You buy stabilizer, if it does nothing works. UPS, it fails. The whole system is. I've never seen a country that is designed never to develop properly. No matter what you do, you are just putting systems in place that could fail. But you will stand a chance of having a bit of electricity if you have redundancies in place. I had 3, and I put all kinds of stuff. You still have problems, nonetheless, sometimes.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm just going to highlight this comment quickly and just make a comment on it. So our federal government annual budget is just 10,000 naira per every Nigerian. Government wants to increase revenue, they say no. They want to borrow, they say no. Why are we too dumb to understand basic statistics? It will be interesting to find out when was the last time we had a say in them borrowing. We say no. Even if we say no, it hasn't stopped them from borrowing. They've been borrowing. But we don't
demand that they borrow for certain things. Okay, look at state governors now that they gave the power to generate electricity. What have they done?
I know, but I'm just,
and people are arguing for them to start doing state police too. What are they saying? They're arguing for them to start doing police. They can't even generate electricity that they give them power for.
No. So Edo State did during the last administration. Edo State did theirs. They built that.
I just saw the comment.
Okay, do they have power now in Edo State?
This nonsense idiot that entered, he said because it was the former governor that did it, he shut it down. He canceled the contract.
There is no power in Edo State.
There is
no power in Edo. The other last week they rioted. They protested.
Did you hear my English? You say Nigerians, I like to throw stone. I said the previous government built and they were having 18 hours.
Edo people never said there was power. They were listening to me, not the They were abusing Obaseki. You think I don't know about Edo too? I know the governor that was in office. Don't stop going on.
I lived it.
Okay, so
Osiomo power plant. It was there in Edo State. You understand? I'm telling you the name. This new one cancelled it because he said that the previous government have mistake investment in it. That's why I cancelled it. Whatever. I something that I lived.
No. Okay, they didn't have power in Edo State.
It's your time to speak.
Not like OT. Okay. Come on, stop going on.
It's your time to speak on these insecurity issues. I'll reduce the time to about 7 minutes so that we can, touch everyone and maybe have like one final say. I just thought I would highlight that comment, because that comment made it seem like Nigerians have the power to stop the government from borrowing. Like Nigerians have the power to stop them from increasing taxes. You want to raise revenue? They've increased, they've said new tax law. They've signed it. They keep borrowing every day. So that comment is just. It's just.
But okay, listen. Show they do have the power. Like I said, Nigerians lack the idea of precision in terms of doing anything. Even if they want it, they don't fight for it. They never do.
But that comment in isolation, if anyone read that, would think Nigerians have stopped the government from borrowing money and that Nigerians have stopped the government from increasing revenue. That's the way it came across. And I know that particular handle comes here to, talk a lot of smack, a very low IQ individual. But anyway, Local P, I'll let you speak on this insecurity issue.
Hello everyone, how you doing? Anyways, you see, for me, Nigeria, I think I could have said we have people of particular concern. First, if I show you, remember during COVID-19, yeah, when some Chinese people they flew in from China, came to Nigeria as doctors, they wanted to assist us. All of a sudden, we could not find their whereabouts anymore. If you remember, they even asked the commissioner, the Minister for Health, about their whereabouts. Like, say he doesn't know where they were. You get my point? Okay, now that's our usual Nigerian mentality. Something happened, we talk about it, and we forget. We just erase it from our memory. Now, American soldiers they've touched down Nigeria, in the same Borno State. And I think I've heard this news like 3 times that they've touched down 3 times. Like, so 3 troops came. 1, 2, 3, either 2, at least minimum 2 came to Nigeria in that same Borno. Yeah. And sorry, from that time till now, what have they been doing? Or are they still missing? Like those Chinese doctors that came during the COVID-19, are they still missing? Or is it that, because they can't sneak in and they have to fly in or whatever, so they have to announce themselves that we are here to do what? Help? And ever since they came, I've not seen the effects of their presence. Or is that just a decoy to be doing something else in so-called, or if they are building a base, their military base to attack, I don't know. Or if they came as what's it called, as soldiers, but for decoy, but they are doing something else on the ground, maybe mining things that we don't know, building things that we don't know. Because I still don't understand why we have such troops coming here. Still, no effect. No, nothing like, okay, well, with the help of these guys, we've combated A, B, C, or D, or we've prevented A, B, C, or D, or E. Nothing. It happened. I felt it will never happen in Borno. Okay, maybe it happened in other states. But their players in Nigeria, the training or whatever they came to do, would have been able to at least reduce whatever is happening in the north. Now, this has even happened now. 3 has even happened now in the same state that they are. So you see that we are being fooled or tricked that, made to believe that these guys are here to do something to help. And still, this is still happening. And Nigerians, always we hear something, talk about it, and we move on. And don't be surprised. Nobody's asking this question. Where are those soldiers, those guys that came from America? What are they doing? Where are they right now? What are they doing? Is it training, or is it trying to prevent fighting for us, or whatever? What are they doing? Or they just they came to build something else, and we didn't know, thinking that they're doing something for us, and they came to do something else. And they just are not even asking questions. Even the media themselves, just are even idiots. They can't even say anything about them. And I say, but Nigerians are not asking questions. Where are those people? At least for now, we wouldn't have had 3 happen at the same time. That's for that. Then for what's it called? Oh shit! Are you? Okay. Therefore, what needs to be done to change, my brother? There's nothing that can be done to change except the people rise up. I've said this several times. Nothing can be done to change because, like you said, if the head is corrupt, they have a system of obey the last order. You understand? If they were like, okay, soldiers were guarding a village. I think it was not for forgetting place. Somebody called them to move to leave, and they leave 30 minutes later in school. They attacked them. Till tomorrow, nobody came out to like, okay, yes, I was the one who caught the person who gave that order. This how this punishment is. Nothing. The other day, I think very that one went to one state. I don't know, it's in the north too. But then where soldier men killed some women that were carrying leaves for protest, whatever. So Germany should do those ones till tomorrow. They said it, those women were killed for nothing. Nobody is even saying who did that. Then is it that same system that you want more soldiers to go and enter? And even if you pack more people to enter, the person that's recruiting, you think that person will be stupid to put army or people to recruit people that will come and sabotage their plan against soldiers? No, they'll definitely recruit the people that will serve their purpose. The people that can abandon duty, the people that they can use to even go and guard politicians or guard them, whatever they want.
Then who recruit the 65 that died?
Sorry?
Who recruited the 65 that just paid with their lives?
The people that pay with their life, where did you get the information that those guys are the best soldiers in life, or if they're not corrupt soldiers? Where did you get it that they're not corrupt at all?
If they are corrupt, then why are they dying then?
Who said so? Somebody was.
So you are literally saying that, how about the one that are rescued? So you are saying that our Nigerian military are not protecting anything. They are not fighting to protect anything. They are all compromised.
Look, see, just like you say, police are not doing anything, yeah? That is a whole ramification, but that doesn't mean they're not catching 1 or 2 criminals elsewhere. They're not arresting bandits elsewhere. But put that dot in a whole circle. It's as good as they're doing nothing. You get my point? So
why is that
not doing anything? Sorry?
That is a long logic. Just because 1 or 2 people are bad doesn't tarnish the entire thing.
Let me tell you, hold on. See, for that. You see, your problem here, truth, I'll tell you this here. Your problem is this here. You are not, as in, like I said, you are using this, put more water to flush bad eggs away. That's your own logic, and you're stuck on it. Somebody will tell you that, look, it's not the water is not the problem. The water is putting more people is not the problem.
No.
Put as much as you want. They can do it's not the problem. But the problem is people are cashing out with the way things are. And the people that you put, by the time they get to the system, they see that I cannot die while my mates are cashing out. What they will do, they get family that are suffering too, they will also join the system and cash out.
They will cash out.
See,
but what you have not seen is that
insecurity is a money maker
business. If you keep interjecting, I will not talk today, please. Let him land now.
Going on. Somebody needs to ask people questions sometimes.
Hold on. I want to ask you before I leave. Listen. During the Buhari election, say they came with more Fulani, whatever, over the years, whatever, and they came to Nigeria and they helped Buhari enter. Now it's time for them to pay back or to whatever deal they did not. He said this several times, even while in Buhari, he said it several times that it was the promise that they promised those guys, they didn't fulfill it, hence we're having what we're having. Now they also came with a plan to give them Ruga, to give them land to compensate them. Hence they tried Ruga and Ruga failed. Now they've done all they could do and nothing happened to compensate them. The only way to compensate them right now is what is happening right now.
So by your analysis, Nigeria is not being protected.
Forefathers, look, go there and make your money.
No, I'm asking you now, by your analysis, Nigeria is not being protected.
Forefathers, tell me,
you don't even need analysis.
Forefathers, in a society where there's no war.
Come to that point.
No, I want you to.
You have 2 more minutes.
I'll run to say, forefathers, in a society where there's no war, they still have light in Ukraine, they have light in Iran, there's no war. The people that have died in Ukraine and in Iran that there is war is far lesser than the people who have died in Nigeria.
By your analysis, is Nigeria not being protected at all?
I just told you somebody the death toll is more than the other one that there's war. You're telling me some people protected. Are you?
So in other words, Nigeria is not being protected.
Bro, you're arguing for no reason. Stop it, forefather.
I'm asking a pertinent question.
No, bro. You've asked it 4 or 5 times. Nigeria is not protected.
Okay.
They don't want to get to the core of anything.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
A country that there's no war.
No, you ask questions sometimes. This thing,
the people that there is war. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get to the bottom of something here. Because you're making an argument about water. You forget that the presence of water is something. Because there are security forces out there in Nigeria right now. There's a reason why you can get down from the airport, you don't get robbed immediately. There's a reason why you can drive on many roads, you don't get waylaid immediately. The idea that there's no security at all.
We don't want to hear that when it gets to your son, you can say all that.
Your time is up. I just wanted him to.
Please.
Okay, 30 seconds, please. We need to move it on.
Let me use in a university level.
We need to move it on.
I remember in my days growing up in university, there's no security. We have people carrying guns and military and police or security carrying guns in the university. In my growing up in university, there was no gun for security. Security was just batting and they only at the gates. You understand? Still, even people, bad boys in school, in the name of courts, whatever, they still cannot go to the class every time the way they like to go and commit havoc.
All right.
Let's
wrap
Crime has nothing to do with daylight.
We need to move it on.
Crime it's always done at night. That's why they tell you. Your Bible will tell you the devil comes to steal.
All right.
Dying for you, and you don't even recognize them.
That's why they tell you. Your Bible will tell you the thief comment in the night. They don't tell the thief in the daytime. They comment in the night.
I'm going to start muting people.
I know somebody that has died because of Nigeria, and you say they are not doing anything.
No problem.
It's okay.
Dr. Adama, thank you for your patience and thank you for joining. What do you have to say to us? Is it about this insecurity, or you don't carry Koboku come beat all of us?
Well, I came in, is it because of the insecurity we're having back home? I've said this before, a country that doesn't have good road, electricity cannot progress, not in this 2026. And another thing I came to say is, I don't know why Nigeria is still on this platform. He came back from Nigeria. I thought you were going to call us from Nigeria and said, okay, you've joined to serve your country. You know, you push that narrative a lot when you come. So I want us to learn to start practicing what we preach. It's easy for you to come in and criticize and say what we need to do. The question I have for you to Nigeria is, what changes have you made as a citizen, given that security is your expertise? So please tell us, from the meeting you went to in Abuja, are they waiting? Are they still doing your background checks so that everything can be cleared out? And we know you're going to help us, you know, when you come to talk about insecurity, next time we see you, we say, oh, he knows what he's talking about because he's, you know, he serves in Nigerian army. But I've not heard that. You're enjoying your stay in the UK. You have electricity. But when you were in Nigeria, I thought you would have used Starlink as your internet, given how connected you are, but you couldn't maintain a good internet. So, but the thing I noticed is you tend to like arguments. You like being right all the time. And at the end of the day, those solutions you are providing is of no use to someone like me listening. Because if you're going to say something, please practice it. To Nigeria, my suggestion for you is start preparing to go to Nigeria and go and join the army and help them fight that. It's men like you running into the bush,
Can you
not
see his
women.
gray beard? This man is too old to join the army. It's not the spring chicken.
I was in Nigeria, and
good evening.
The truth is that I wasn't very keen on returning back to the UK anyway. So, but that's the truth. When I was at the airport, I wasn't very keen on leaving Nigeria. The idea that my concern is that we can't see straight. We just because there's a lower tier problem, we decide that they should not fix the bigger issue. Like it's like saying the kitchen is dirty, so let's not fix the roof of the house. This is madness. We can't keep behaving like this. There are people dying right now for your sake, keeping your relatives safe in Nigeria, and we pretend as if they should not be reinforced. They should not have people, because if you do that, you're just going to be rewarding all those people that are kind of rehabilitating terrorists, or you are rewarding the people that are compromised in the military. No, you are protecting your people. That's what you are doing. Those people don't care whether they are rehabilitating people. They care whether their homes are protected. That's what they care most about. And it's actually quite important. Their lives are important. Those people that are dying right now, we pretend as if we care about them, but we start arguing about things that are not going to fix their issue. What is actually going to fix their issue is people on the ground. And there are people on the ground in Nigeria. We see them. That's why we are able to get them from the airports. But they are not everywhere. That's the problem.
That's not the problem. The problem is that the government knows where these people are. This is the problem we have, is that the government is paying ransom. They knows where these people are.
They are paying ransom, but why are they not robbing you at the airport?
Okay.
Yes, they are paying ransom. Why are they not robbing you at the airport when you get down from the plane?
Okay, don't worry. If
you can't even notice that, you don't notice it.
You get to say, Chim. So let me.
Because there are people at the airport protecting you.
Okay, forefather, send your family to go and fight for Nigeria.
You see that they don't want to engage.
It's okay.
Go and send your family.
We
if
lack
you have children,
precision in
to
reasoning.
fight for Nigeria.
All right.
This is a fact. You go to Nigeria. It's a fact that you are being protected, but you don't even want to acknowledge it. People are dying for you. You don't even want to acknowledge it, and you think you are going to get protection. No one at Tinubu will speak and do whatever he likes with you.
Okay, to Nigeria, I asked a question. Sure, can I say something?
Dying for people, they don't even recognize it. It's so sad.
Are you too big to die for Nigeria? Is it not men your age that are dying for Nigeria? Can't you go back home and die for them? Must you all follow you and go and die?
We are all going to die. Let's break
No,
in.
forget it. I know
Why
we'll
not
all
you
die.
go die
But you're
first?
not
Why
going to
are you
prepare my
still
death
here?
for me.
Okay,
You
okay,
know
ladies,
why
If
do
I
that
didn't
then?
take risk, I don't care. I see if they
Okay,
are
go now. Why are you
if
still
the
in UK?
I
Why did
said
you
it.
even
I
come
said
back?
it online. If the
Why
Nigerian
did you
military
come
let's move on
back?
to Chim.
if the Nigerian military want to change the Nigerian security posture and recruit many people,
Your
I will
president
put
is in
myself
the,
forward.
in the country
What
where
makes
you
you think
are.
I will not go and join?
Pack all
He
his
doesn't
stuff.
understand. He
Why do
doesn't
you think?
understand.
What makes you think I won't join? I will join.
All right, Ify,
I'm
please.
better than many of you people that are willing to go and join foreign military to go and destroy your
It's
own
okay,
countries.
Ify. It's okay.
That's what you people are
Ify.
going to do. I'm
We'll
going to
come
join
to
the
you.
military in my own country.
Right. Okay. Thank you for further.
Why would I
No,
join?
sure, please, sure, hold on, sure. You just said something.
Yes,
you said you're going to join the military. Hold on, sure. You said you're going to join the military in your country.
Yes, if they say they need people and they want to recruit 1 million, they need people to come and join. I will come and join.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know they are actually trying to fix the problem in
They
Nigeria.
will still take you now. You're not too old. You can go.
He just said he would join. He just answered.
I said
he
even
would join.
when P2B was online, when P2B was online, I said the same thing.
It's
If
okay.
they are looking to recruit 1 million
If he
people
had
and
joined,
they
he
want
won't
someone
be
like
on
me, I
this
will join.
platform. Two Nigeria is not joined. Let me tell you, two Nigeria
He
is so
hasn't
used to the.
joined.
I know they will hire you immediately.
So
How
can we
can
realistic
we
for
be like
once?
this?
If you please,
Why would anybody protect you when you don't even
thank
acknowledge them?
It's okay. Please, if you Biko.
Okay, can I finish? Can I say
Oh yeah,
something?
finish.
Tonight,
Please
this is
finish so that I can go
what I
to
want
Chim.
you to
This one
say.
that Chim is doing like this.
My thing with you is you bring out all the suggestions, and when people give you a pushback that you don't like, you cannot just sit back, listen to what they are saying. You don't have to agree, but acknowledge that what they are saying makes sense. In your own case, is that no, you didn't agree with me because
I
you won't be
said it's a
sitting here.
lower tier problem.
No, sit back
I didn't
home
say
and
it's not
telling
a
me that.
problem, but it's a
Tonight,
lower
when
tier
next I
problem. I
see
even
you,
gave an
tonight, look
example
at me.
of
When next I see you, I want to see you in your Nigerian military uniform. So when you come in, we'll recognize you personally.
If I wear Nigerian military, if I talk to me like this,
All right. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Adama. Chim, you've been very patient. I know you're a very patient man, and you start by saying nobody should interject me because I was very quiet when you guys were. All right, Chim, you have the floor. We have 40 minutes. Let's make the most of it.
I know. I'll just go straight to the point. No preambles. So I think I don't know if it's the commander that is leading the forces around that same area. He said he's tired of recruiting sons of innocent women. He said recently that he wants the politicians, the guys who are policymakers, the people who are armstronging him, to give their cheats to join this army. He said so. It's just been announced. I heard it. That no more going to. He's tired of recruiting a poor woman's child, and then the person will be given poor weapons, and the person dies. So, in other words, we've heard cases of situations where our soldiers are rationed weapons, rationed bullets. You give somebody, you ration 3-4 bullets for someone, and then the person is fighting somebody that has a barrage of things across his chest. All he simply has to do is wait for you to finish wasting your 3 weapons, then he opens fire on you and eliminates them. And we wonder why our soldiers... Listen, is it not the same military boys that went to Congo, brought sanity in Congo? We spent resources in Liberia, brought sanity in Liberia. We went to Sierra Leone, did the same thing. When we are sent to go to Togo and quail coup, they go there and they cool it successfully. But in their backyard where they are struggling and they are dying. What does that tell you? It tells you that there is no political will. We've been in this country to hear that our soldiers want to do their job. They catch a Boko Haram or an insurgent or a terrorist, and powers that be from above will come and tell them to release, or they are trying to open fire. They gauge these guys and they tell them don't engage. This whole thing that happened in Kebbi or Zamfara, where forces were removed, and then the kids went to. It's not because our boys can't do the job. There was clearly an insider stopping them from doing their job. But we come here, we make it look like it is a conspiracy. Please don't shake your head.
It's okay, Tim. Just carry on. It's his head. You can shake it. It belongs to him.
No, don't shake it with me. When I was here, I kept quiet. Don't shake your head, please. Listen, no, the point is, there is no genuine Nigerian who doesn't want the soldiers to succeed. It's not what people come here and they say, oh, this will wear in Biafra. You know what is, excuse me? So because I'm a Igbo man, I'm happy that one northern guy is being paid who's genuinely wanting to do a job of securing the country. Why would I want him to die needlessly? Clearly, like I have said, and I repeat, whether you call it a conspiracy or not, there is a lack of political will. It's been proven there's a lack of political will. We had a general that was fighting and his location was leaked and the man was killed. How did that happen? How did that happen? Why are we very intangible things? We want to gloss over it. A general, Nigeria invested. Do you know how much it costs to train someone to become a general? Do you know how much taxpayers' money, Nigeria's resources was injected in guiding this guy from NDA? He grows and became a general. Can you quantify the amount of money we've wasted on that guy? And the thing just goes down the drain like that. He was killed. And then the president, same period this thing happened, went to go and party somewhere. The same way his countrymen are being killed. And he thinks a handshake with a Muzungu is what is more important to him. A handshake. Yes, you heard me. I called the person a Muzungu. That's what is more important to him. That's what he desires.
Is that my king?
Yeah, your king. He's still a Muzungu. That's what is more important to him. And someone is coming here and telling us this thing. Excuse me. Listen, people join the army with patriotism at heart. But when you compromise their security, you go and catch a Boko Haram and you say you are rehabilitating the person and you now inject the person into the forces, that person is not ready to fight for Nigeria. That person will give away these people constantly. Whoever is trying to hack me, let him continue doing it. He did it on Sunday again, but I will ignore it. You understand? That person doing that should continue to do it. Enjoy what you're trying to enjoy, but you're not going to stop me from talking. Do you understand? This is
internet service providers.
Are you serious? Why if you so? Why if you so?
No, you should continue doing it. That person should continue doing it.
It's AY. He's a computer genius.
The point I'm making is simple. Listen, for me personally, I don't think the Nigerian army is not capable. The Nigerian army is above capable.
Capable, brother.
Very capable.
Very.
The problem they have is we have political leaders, civilian political leaders, who are heavily compromised and sympathetic to the causes of the terrorists.
All right. Chim, just to bring a bit, just to draw you closer to the middle so that you guys, not that you meet in the middle, do you agree that we need more men? Despite the fact that you're
listen. I don't have a problem. Okay, let me put it this way. In an organization, you have your skilled professionals. They're giving you ideas on how to move the company forward. Yes, there's probably a gap to fill, but you're not even utilizing those ones very well, giving them the optimal resources they need. You're not giving them enough weapons. You're not giving them the political support they need. Do you understand? To say, okay, we're behind you, the business board of directors not giving them all the requirements to go and do their job. And you're saying you want to go and recruit. Let me break it down like this. I've worked in companies where we set up an organization. Yeah, yes. And then somebody is busy, interested in going to bring what we used to call back then as repatriates. Nigerians who went to Oxford, Weetabix, Harvard, Stanford, name it. That's what you're interested in. They don't even know the terrain. You want to go and bring those ones. You think that's what I come and solve the company's problem. But you have local skills who understand the terrain, who know the job. But you're not paying them well. You're not treating them well. But you go and bring this repatriate that lives in the UK or lives in Canada like me, but doesn't understand the job properly. He comes back and the same local person is going to give him an idea on how to do the job. That is exactly what you're saying when you say, go and recruit. The ones you have you allowed them to do the job? When show as a superperforming. Please don't interrupt me. This is where I will get here.
Of course, it's going to come up with that one there.
And I don't like that. Please keep it going. When the guy who is holding a gun in the front line holds a Boko Haram, and you tell him to not to engage. So is the new one that's going to come that you will suddenly start allowing to do the job? What are we talking about? Let the guys who are there right now do the job. Listen, the moment you see that those you have are doing the job well, other people will be excited to want to join them. Others will be excited to want to join them. There's a disincentive for people to even join the army right now. When people are seeing how you're not supporting them, who wants to go and die like a fowl needlessly? Nobody wants to do that. So treat the ones on the field right now, give them the right incentives, give them the right political will to do the job, and then you will see you won't need to campaign to tell anybody to join. People will willingly want to join. It's simple, basic, human rational thinking. And if you can't rationally think that way, something is wrong with your medulla oblongata.
Biology.
You don't finish with that.
No, 1 minute.
So far, yeah, man. So far, you had your say. This is time for you to be lambasted.
You want to know the truth, or you thought you were after solution, or
forefathers, I'll let you have the last say on this show. Don't worry.
Have you had a drink with the colonel? At least just a colonel, you drink like discuss security issue with him, a colonel. Minimum.
I've discussed the security issue with a colonel on this panel.
On this panel? No, not panel, like one-on-one.
That lazy colonel.
Leave panel, one-on-one.
So don't worry. Whatever you want to ask him, you can save it for later. Jagun, I'll let you go, and after Jagun, AY would speak.
Why would Jagun speak before me?
I'm brighter. My man, AY, you don't start though.
So you know what? Because of this conversation, I'm going to have another live after this one, because I don't like the way this is going.
No. You have another live. It's enough. It's enough. We don't need a lecture. We don't need a lecture.
They are just spewing out stuff, and tomorrow they will kill more. Next tomorrow they will kill more, and it will just keep going on.
Show, make you run the show. See how this guy is Jabujanki's your whole show.
Okay. Just because you want to have your say. And start anybody remove
absolutely.
I will challenge.
Let's not.
No. What it is, if you have your own show, nobody should go there. You can talk to yourself.
Don't come. Don't
spoil his market. You know what's funny? Jack, I'll let you have your say. But if you call Rudolph right now, if he's watching, you'll be chuckling. I said to Rudolph, I'm going to have a show regarding this topic because it's quite important to me when it's Gaza and those things. Nigerians are more important to me than all these people that people come and talk about. I said, but I know what's going to happen. Let me predict something. I said, the way I would run it, I'll let people have their say. I won't challenge them a lot, not because I don't want to, but it would turn to a show that I probably won't enjoy. I said, but forefathers will come because it's security. I said, and it will be like, the way these people have spoken tonight, they don't agree with me. You know what? I'm going to do a show after this where we can actually discuss it out. Honestly, I said there will be a show after this.
So that he can cancel people that do not agree with him.
And just to emphasize his views.
I'm right most of the time.
You're not right. You're just incapable.
People never learn. Forget it. You never learn. You guys are the guys that Bantu City is making that documentary for, because you never learn.
Don't make forefathers misconstrue what I told Rudolph. It wasn't because I disagree with that. I just said I think you probably want to flesh it out more because it's his area of interest is security. I said you probably just let's have it.
Anyway, he just lied about that general. He doesn't even know his mind. He thinks he's telling the truth about how that general died, but he doesn't know what happens. See, hold on.
In this panel
they don't know what is going on the ground. They just act as if they know. They have no clue what is going on the ground.
On this panel right now.
I know somebody that died in the same circumstances as that general that he's talking about. The same circumstances. But he just comes here spewing it, but he doesn't understand
on this
actually goes on the ground.
Nobody on this panel right now is saying putting more people on the ground is a bad thing. Nobody on this panel is saying that. Nobody.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, it's fine. Let's go to Jagun. Jagun, so you're rounding, your closing thoughts. I'll give you 3 minutes. Just your closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Closing thoughts. Yes, it's a shame. It's a shame about the way we discuss on this panel, because the fact is people are dying. We're speaking about Maiduguri. That's today.
Yes.
And then we have people on the panel who would be backing the government line of doing nothing somehow. I don't know how that computes. Who will be standing saying that the government isn't doing enough, we should recruit more. However, the salient point and how you missed it, I don't know. The people who are now in the military services, they are not doing the job correctly enough to secure the country. However, if they were, it would be a different scenario. There would be a different level of support that we had for the military itself. The way I want to conclude is that I have plans. We have designs. We're thinking. As I said, 2027 is a useless trope of an affair. Whoever thinks that something's going to change because of 2027, I think that they're crazy, politically idiotic. That's my thoughts. I want the people to take power back. But you know, with the army the way it is, if the army doesn't back the people taking the power back because of infighting within the army, that's a big problem. That's a massive problem. It means the country would not recover itself. We can so weaken ourselves in that place called Nigeria that some world power will just swoop in and take the whole country over. That is the line that we are in. The important show in looking at the rest of the world is looking at the examples that are happening with countries that are far stronger than we are. And look what's happening to them. Far more economically endowed at this particular time than we are. And look what's happening to them. And if we don't realize, if we're not really looking at what's before us, I think we're you know, I keep saying we're stupid. I don't want to use that trope. It's not something I like saying. But just look at it. Is it not glaring? Is it not glaring that we're not people who think? We're not people of any level of courage. We're just people of rhetoric and garbage, of a garbage torrent of word salad.
Right.
Come here and speak kinds of words like we know what we're talking about. Forefather is he's no expert. He just likes talking Warcraft. He's not an expert. He's not an expert of any level at all. Me personally, I know people in the British Army. I went to school with them. They're Oyinbos. And when they talk to me about strategy, it doesn't sound like what Forefathers is saying at all. It doesn't sound like anything like what Forefathers is saying. And I do understand where Forefathers come from in saying that our country is insecure. But now, from that point that we can all agree upon, he will delve into areas unknown to him. He has no idea, and he wants to say to somebody else that they have no idea. And then he wants to have this argument, stopping everybody from talking. I beg, open another show, Forefather. Me, I'm not going there to listen to your rhetoric.
All right.
I don't want to spoil your market talk because I like your show and I like you as an individial, but I'll still maintain your. What's that? My brother, Kinontikpe, Chim, make you bring that vocabulary to him again.
Medulla oblongata. All right. Thank you, Jagun. Thank you for your submission. Right, so I'll quickly go to AY. AY, I'll give you 6 minutes. You came late, but I'll give you 6 minutes. Just if you
came very late as usual. Late comer.
Show you are a good man.
Yes. So 6 minutes.
Thank you very seriously. Very seriously. Like Debudaya. Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Easy, brother.
First of all, I need to correct some things. You know, I've been hearing a lot of this misinformation as regards the electricity in Nigeria. Lokupi, the power plant in Edo State was not built by Edo State government. It's privately owned.
You not say built it.
No.
Okay,
Please,
hold on. Just listen to me. You need to listen to me.
No, correct yourself. I didn't say built it.
Okay. Just listen to me. So, the power plant in Edo State was not built by the state government. It's a private company. And the megawatt the capacity of the electricity they produce, it's not even enough to power Edo State. So Osiomo power plant was the intention of the private company was built to cover the Benin industrial area and the neighboring communities. But you don't interject me. Please hold on.
When you have your finances, you can use that to report.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go over 3 hours.
What was going on before the former governor left? That they were basically using for government offices in Benin. So they were kind of like business going on.
And the parks in Benin too as well.
Yeah, and the parks in Benin. Also, that is the same situation with the geometric power plant in Aba. It was not built to give light to Abia State. This misinformation is too much. The capacity of the one in Benin is currently at 95 megawatt. 95 megawatt cannot power a state.
Because
in Abia State, the capacity is currently at around 130, 140 megawatt. So that is not enough to power a state. So what that does, it powers the Aba industrial area and the neighboring communities. But
go breastfeed your pikin, go breastfeed your pikin.
One second.
All right, no worries. All right. No smart cam, because your face strong. Well, no smart cam. All right. While you attend to
Sure. Can I?
So let me. Sorry.
Tony.
Also, the power plant in Aba, the geometric power plant, was not also built to give land to Abia State. See, Abia, they don't even have the infrastructure to even transmit light across the state. So this misinformation we need to stop so that we don't encourage mediocrity. The one in Abia can actually go up to take around 180 to 200 megawatt. That's the highest capacity. Even if you complete all the turbine in Abia, they can't give electricity to Abia State. This is actually fact. The one in Benin have capacity to give land to Edo State if they complete it up to, I think, can go up to 550 megawatt of electricity. But one thing we need to know, my fear in Nigeria is even there is no plan to give Nigeria light. This is the truth right now. If you go,
you have 2 more minutes. So this insecurity, you're not going to talk
about. I don't mind. I just need to educate people on this.
All right, fine.
My fear is even if you have 24 hours electricity in Nigeria, I'm telling you this for free. 75% of Nigerian workforce cannot afford it. They can't afford it. Yes, go. So they can't afford it because the cost is gonna be too much. I said the government needs to come in to subsidize it. Yeah, that is for that. On the issue of why we talk less on the issue of the insecurity. I really like the position of Tony. Mr. Tony has really spoken well. Even Chim, actually. The truth is, I think the insecurity, there is something going on. Please now. Can you remove this guy for me? He like bullying me. So this going on in Nigeria, there is more. The question you ask, like, the American military, what are they doing in Nigeria? I think you should ask that question to people that supported the military in Nigeria, the activities in Nigeria. They are not there to solve our problem. We have to see that solve our problem. Yeah, when you go to the genesis, like Mr. Tony said, I will blame the northern leaders and the northern politicians as the big part of the problem. The issue of education in the north is when I look at the situation, I'm like, I think we are still in a good spot right now. They need to fix the problem because the north is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. If you know that what is going on, then as regards the insecurity proper, honestly, you can't remove our security people out of this menace that is going on. They are really, really benefiting from it. It's a cash cow. And one other important thing Chim said, there is no political will to solve the problem. It's actually the fact. If there is, we can actually solve this problem. Because when I look at Sambisa Forest, for example, I'm like, where is the intelligence? Why are we not using drone to track the movement of these people? This thing is not rocket science. I'm telling you, all you need is just to provide drone. You can monitor the activities around the Borno Oasis. It's not too big, to be honest.
Right. Okay. Thank you, AY.
They do that, bro. You just have, bro. You will monitor the movement around that angle. I don't even know why it's difficult for them to track all this stuff. I'm really sometimes it baffles me. I think there is more going on that Nigeria don't know in Nigeria.
All right.
Like
Thank you, AY.
let me say this. Simili said one thing. He said, "Who want Nigeria destroyed?" Something like that. That's a very big question all of us should ask. Instead of us keep blaming ourselves, allow tribal line, allow religion line, these are the kind of questions we need to be asking ourselves. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So you've said that there's no political will, something a few other people have echoed. All right, Tony, please keep it to 3 minutes. Let's round off quickly. Thank you for staying with me from the beginning.
Thank you. Quickly, I think it's important that we stress here that there's nothing wrong with the president going on a state visit. I think we haven't made that point. There's not absolutely nothing wrong with going for a state visit, particularly for a country that we have quite a lot of relationship with, social, political, and economic. The last time a Nigerian president visited the UK on a state visit was about 36, 38 years ago. So it's apropos for the president, but the timing with respect to what has happened in Nigeria is the issue. Let me just run down. We for statistics show that we have about 500,000 Nigerians in diaspora in the UK, and if you look at the remittances inflow from diasporans in the UK, it's quite substantial and it's helping the GDP. So we must not push that aside. So the visit to give the president an opportunity, among other things, to meet with them, feel their pulse, and discuss with them. Then we hear from the government side that there are quite a lot of investment opportunities that may open. We've always been hearing that every time the president is visiting, signing of deals and so on. For instance, we hear that there is a 700 million pounds loan for for investment in Lagos port and some other ports and so on. And then the other issues that we talked about, maybe security and some other issues relating to the country's development and welfare and so on and so forth. But that said, I think the critical issue here is with the kind of situation we have in Nigeria. I feel strongly that first of all, we don't need that kind of entourage that we have. Plus AIDS, we don't even know the number of AIDS that would have gone apart from the ones that we know. Two, I think that with this kind of situation, the president should show empathy, not just making a statement. We've been having this thing repeatedly. You can't be doing the same thing over and over again, garbage in, garbage out. And I don't know what the advisors are doing. And with almost all the security, the commander-in-chief is out, the NSA is out, the DG, NIA is out, Minister for Defense is out, and so on and so forth. Some governors and
Borno State himself is out. He's in
out.
Saudi Arabia.
So I mean, you begin to wonder what kind of country is this? What is more important? The visit can be postponed. You can shift it, and you run back and deal with the issues here. I mean, the king, with His Majesty, will understand that, and that's what people do, all over the world. So this is the Nigerian. This thing is absurd. The way we run our government is one that I don't know. I don't understand, and I think the president hasn't done well. That's my opinion. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you for your contribution. Ify, any last words on the show? Okay, Ify's busy. So I think everyone's had. Chim, you've had your final contribution, haven't you, Chim? Oh, they've hacked Chim again. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, so Chim has had his final say. You've had your final say, Chim, right? Okay, you've got 3 minutes. Please go for it.
Okay, so what I want to simply say is this. Listen, I'm not against recruiting more soldiers. Recruit.
Okay.
But please.
That's a start.
Yeah, recruit. How we were told, what do we eat is not the problem. Just recruit. We had all of that during the campaign. But it's not about recruiting. It's about what you're doing right now. Listen, the Nigerian army is a profession that a lot of people want to join, whether at the officer corps level or at the infantry level, the lower ranks people want. It had a prestige. People wanted to join and defend this country. Right now, there's a disincentive for anyone to want to join the Nigerian army. And that disincentive is coming right from inside Aso Rock. The way the people in Aso Rock are treating security is a disincentive to any willing, youthful Nigerian who wants to join to help keep the country. And the only way you can accomplish this so-called recruit effortlessly is when you show the way you're treating these ones who are in office right now and they are doing their job. The more people feel that, yes, these guys are being provided the necessary resources, the political leadership is giving them everything they require, you don't need to go on a campaign to go and encourage people. The Southeast, as we're told, is not even fulfilling its quota. Why? Simple logic. When there was no trouble, you didn't let me join the army. Now that there is trouble, you want me to join the army. How will I join? So is it now that death is facing us that suddenly I'm important to you to join the army? There are certain things we need to see that there are simple basic logic. Basic logic. So in summary, sir, please, our political leaders, don't sell this country. Think about the life. Let the life of that soldier be valuable to you. Don't compromise his safety. Don't stand in his way when he's trying to do a decent job. Let him do the job of securing the country. And if he's doing it, he becomes an example to other people who aspire to join and wear that uniform. It's very simple.
Thank you very much, Chim. Appreciate that contribution. Ify, I was asking, any last words before we shut up shop?
So, first of all, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Sometimes, you just, the things that are happening in Nigeria, sometimes I wonder if it happens in other countries. I just, at this point, I don't think we get it, and majority of Nigerians will never get it. So if Tinubu wins 2027, maybe that's when people will realize what we've been talking about for a long time. About the insecurity, like I told you, I don't have anything to say until they begin to go to where these people are, because they know exactly where they are. So, I don't know what else the citizens can do, if you ask me. There is nothing we personally can do about that. In terms of electricity, of course, when you have a president already said bye-bye to you guys and put a solar system in Aso Rock, what does that tell you? You have a minister, a power minister who's contesting for the next Oyo State election. What does that tell you? Very clueless people. When you have people in government who doesn't even know what is going on in Nigeria, people are crying, wailing every day. Instead, they are busy sharing bag of rice as an palliative, because that is the problem of Nigeria. So I don't even know where to begin at this point. Where to start, where to end. President left the country. I don't know who is in charge. So anything can happen, and nobody will be held responsible, as it has been going on for the past literally almost 4 years. I don't have anything to say. All I have to do is just sit down and look and listen.
Thank you very much, Ify. Support diaspora voting. I'll give you 1 minute. Just anything. Passing last comments, then I'll go to forefathers to
Okay.
to, put everybody's contribution into his own thought, and we'll close the show on that. And hopefully, if he starts one, I might join for the first few minutes before I go to bed.
Father said we just be big now, like he's having the last say. The judge happy now. Let me bash everybody. Anyways, not really much. I've been saying this on and on. Yeah, look, we are not serious people to be fair. To be sincere, we're not serious people. I think if we don't act, we've been talking and I notice will not change. Like, when you are dealing with somebody who I'm doing it deliberately to hurt you. You understand? And instead of you to fight back to protect yourself, you are telling the person, you are reminding, or you are letting the person know that the person is hurting you. The person is doing deliberately to hurt you. You understand? Why not just fight back? I will protect yourself physically. Instead, you are telling the person, okay, this you are doing, they pay me. Meanwhile, the person is doing deliberately to, why are you telling the person? So I think that's what we are doing in Nigeria. We're just complaining as if our leaders do not know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. It's a deliberate act. You understand? And they won't stop until we do something else. Until we do something that we impede what they are trying to do. And the only thing is by action. If we talk, right, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. We only have to act.
Hey, show, breaking news. So, CAF strip.
I was going to mention that at the end of the show. I just feel
that's
like it's
weird. That's weird.
I feel like it's not something to throw in the middle of this. So in my last comment, I was going to mention it. I saw it like an hour ago. It's very, very bizarre. But
so what was their reason though?
They said, well, I'll talk about it when I finish.
Okay.
Fathers, you've got 4 minutes. I just need 1 minute to round off. You've listened to what everyone has had to say regarding these issues. There's been some backhanded comments, some forehand comments regarding your position on this thing. So I just want you to take, 3-4 minutes to, your final thoughts on these things and factor in what people have said if you can.
Yeah, I think people just like to attack me because I come across as somebody that know it all without caring about the knowledge or the information that is being shared. It's really sad because I don't care who is giving me the information. Even if you're insulting me when you're giving me the information, I will look out for what you're telling me. I even listened to a racist lady insult us, and she was correct. If you train black people enough, they will choose the back door. They will sit at the back seat of that bus. This is what we do. It's as if they expect me to decide to change the data that is out there. None of them bother to check it out. None of them bother to check the data that is out there. But yet, when you come and tell them 1 + 1 is 2, because their own way of thinking is 1 + 1 is 3, they will hate you for it. You like it or not, because you come across as if you know a lot. And they don't like it. I'm not an expert in security. Because it doesn't take an expert in security to see what is out there. If this was an Igbo country, they will pick up on it like that. You can't even pick up on simple things. We deserve the presidents and the leaders we are getting because we are like them. We don't use common sense to do anything. Common sense doesn't work in Nigeria. Like when somebody talks about the general that died, I know somebody that died the way that general died. It wasn't because they gave the general away. When they are coming back from patrol, they get this ambush. They scatter into the bushes. Then the bandits go later on to go and hunt them down and kill them. That's what happened to that guy. Somebody that I know, and his own mother died from Boko Haram bombing in Abuja. But they say, I'm not an expert. Do I need to be an expert to know that? Because I know the story. I don't know where we get all this our story from. We just pluck it from thin air and malign the military for it. There's something seriously wrong with us, and yet we get that from the airport every day. Somebody's protecting us. If you cannot see straight, I can't help you.
Okay.
If you cannot see straight, I can't help you with that one. I will leave it there.
Thank you, forefathers. Thank you. Every contribution is welcome. It's all in an attempt to salvage what is left of our country, if we can. So I appreciate that contribution. In rounding off, my last comment on this is, if I was asked that, what do I think, my personal opinion, what do I think is the most critical thing that will save Nigeria? I would say is for the citizens, all of us, everyone, I'm not excluding myself, to rise up, fight, and make sure we elect the leadership that we think will take us in the right direction. We all seem to know what is the right thing to do, but our leaders are going in the opposite direction. So we agree we need more soldiers. We agree we need to reform the military. We agree we need to reform our police force, the way we train them. We seem to agree on a lot of things. And I don't think our leaders are that thick that they don't know these things need to be done. It's just that they don't want to do it. One, they are being told not to do it. Two, it probably doesn't favor them if they do it. So I think if we were to give our last drop of blood on something, it would be to elect the people that would say we need to enrich ourselves. We need nukes. We need nuke like everybody else. It's something that a lot of us will agree to say, yes, if we have it, nobody's disturbing the guy in North Korea, right? Because they know they can't mess with him. I'm sure they're thinking, who's going to come and bother me? All this fighting that everybody is doing, nobody's playing with me. He's probably bored. So if we get leaders that would say Nigeria first, it takes care of a lot of things. Even this Saturday meeting, would start discussing football. Because that leadership, not just one person, would think like we're thinking. We need this. We need this. But the current ones don't care. Some people's defense is we're broke. We're broke. We're broke. Our politicians live like some of the richest. They live. I mean, their lives are more luxurious than the lives of some of the richest nations. If you see their politicians, you would see the way our politicians live. We're not broke when it comes to the way they live their daily lives. But when it comes to doing anything for the common man, then we're broke. We're a poor nation. We're a poor nation. That's the song people sing to defend them. So I think the most critical thing, while everything else is important, is getting the right leadership. Imagine a Jerry Rawlings, what he did in Ghana, the clear up he did. It shook Ghana to its core. And I'm not calling for that before they come for me. But I'm saying if you have the right leadership, look at the guy in Burkina Faso, whatever he's doing, if it's not propaganda, his people seem to be happy with him. Do you understand? Right leadership. The one that came in Ghana, he did a few things. The people seem to be happy with him. It might be tough, but I'm sure Nigerians, I mean, we are enduring this toughness, these little baby steps of pain. We're enduring it without knowing that if it would yield any result. But if somebody comes in, like the link when you people talk about, he was a dictator. He was just a benevolent dictator. He had a plan. So if we have people like that at the helms of affair, who put Nigeria first, who would say, damn the consequences. If we perish, we perish. Then we would all follow that person and say, yes, let's go. My leader, we're behind you. But the current ones we have, I keep saying it, the Oyinbo man does not need to force them. These ones lie on their back to be tickled by the Oyinbo man. They don't fight. There's no bone of fight in them. They don't even argue. They don't need to bug their planes. They don't need to bug Aso Rock. These ones will go there and say, okay, this is what happened. This one. They would start spilling. Everybody's rejecting France. We are running to France. We're embracing them. I saw a video, search it, of illegal gold mine in Osun State. You won't believe. This is something that I saw only today. It's all over the social media today. How big this gold mine is in Osun State. Illegal mining of gold in Osun State. And they keep saying we're poor. There's gold in Zamfara. There's gold. We have everything to be better than what we are. I'm not saying we will be Dubai tomorrow, but we have everything to be better than what we are. But we have people who are hell-bent on suffering us, making us poorer than we are. So I think if there's one thing we need to do is to get the right leadership. I'm not going to throw any name in there. It doesn't have to be Peter Obi. That is why I'm different. It doesn't have to be him. If you tell me that the Showore that can do it, we'll queue behind him and get him there. If you tell me it is that prince, I don't particularly have a lot of time for him. That prince that comes here all the time. If they say it's the man that will get us to the promised land, I will queue behind him. It doesn't matter. I know it's not Tinubu. We've tested him. We know it's not him. Not that I ever believed he will be the one. But whoever it is, doesn't matter if it's a Fulani man. I have my doubt about them these days, based on what's going on. But if it's a Fulani man, whoever, put Nigeria first. Say what you like about Trump. His mantra is America first. The mantra of our president, without saying it, is whoever first, highest bidder first. Just take 70%, give me and the boys 30%. We'll be happy. That's what we have. And it's so painful to see. People call me from Nigeria now, boys that we went to school together that never bothered me for money. These are boys I could call and gist and banter and discuss other things. Now they're calling and saying, guy, I don't know how I want to ask you. Why big? If you square me 100K, if you square me 50K. Boys that were doing, they're comfortable before, but now they're asking for money. And you're thinking, why? But people will tell you this president is transformative. Cool down. He's doing something. That's the same way they told us when Buhari was there. Until Buhari's last day, they were telling me that we would thank God. I have a friend who told me, I would thank God that Buhari lived and he ruled Nigeria between 2015 and 2020, 2023 or whatever he left. That was laying the foundation. I started calling Buhari Julius Berger. I said, this foundation must be very deep. He said, he's laying foundation for the next man. Tinubu is there now. They're saying that Buhari left a dead economy. It's the same thing they're telling us. Just wait. This man has spent 3 years. After 4 years, they will say give him second term. After second term, Tinubu will tell them the next northerner to vote for. Then the cycle continues. When does it stop? When exactly would it stop and it will be about us and not about them? Anyway, that is my own on this issue. And I would like to mention what AY said. For those who don't know, if you follow football, soccer, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, have decided to award the last AFCON to Morocco. They've stripped Senegal of the title. They said Senegal forfeited when they walked off the pitch. So Morocco are now the AFCON. If they explain Africa to you, and
but it's not all of them that left the pitch though.
CAF have decided Morocco are the winners. They've stripped Senegal of the title. So that one has happened. It's all over Sky.
Africa and black man.
It's official.
Black magic.
And this one would even annoy Fafa. They've given it to the Oyinbos inside Among Us. They took it from
No,
Senegal.
somebody said they should come to Senegal and take the cup from them. That if they give the trophy.
They'll submit it. Once they know,
they'll submit it.
They will take it.
But you can't change it. Senegal.
I know. I get that, but I'm just putting the news out.
You can change it. You can change it now because their name will not be there.
No. I mean, you can't change it in the people's heart.
Of course, so that one happened, and also I would like to apologize once again.
I'm interested. I saw that on social media. I'm like, okay.
I would like to apologize again for what for the break that happened. As soon as I clicked on live, and my sister-in-law called me and said, no, I didn't. I saw the call was 10 a.m., not 10 p.m. like I said, and I thought, why would she call me? So I had to go offline there was no one to take over. It was literally just me before I could do anything. So I called her back and she said, there's a family emergency and all of that, so it's not, I'm far away from my brother, but I would go see him tomorrow, hospitalized and all of that, but I'll go see him tomorrow. So apologies, I just didn't go offline for the sake of going offline. So for those who will watch this in the future, you probably think the show started and the guy just disappeared for 2-3 minutes.
What happened to DR Congo, please?
I'm not sure what happened.
I'm just asking. Nigeria is still waiting for DR Congo.
Oh no, that one is official. It's official. We're not going to the World Cup anyway. I would like to thank you all for joining me. There's no way I could have done this all by myself. So thank you to everyone who's joined, and thank you, especially to Joseph Oji and T Majek. Joseph Oji sent British pounds, the only currency with a last name, pound sterling. If he easy, make you run now. Pounds.
In fact, he even get me doing himself British sterling, pound sterling.
You understand? Money way guide. And Team Ajek, thank you as well, sending dollars.
Slave money when they celebrate.
Thank you to the guys in the
Canada
comment
borrowed currency. Canada,
you've kept it lively in the comment section. There's someone who is hounding Jagun. He wants me to ask Jagun if Netanyahu is actually gone. The guy's just been going on and on that Jagun told them last week Netanyahu is no more. So now we can rest. I've asked the question. Sometimes we see news and we run with the news without verifying. He's a cool guy, so let's leave Jagun alone. But thank you to the panelists. Loco P, thank you for joining. AY, latecomer, thank you. Chim, always a pleasure to have you. Ify, we are better for having you back in our fold. Ismiri joined as well. Jagun, of course, joined. There was a gentleman who kept coming in and going out, probably because he didn't get to his turn on time. Ngozika, it was lovely to see you. I'm not sure if I've forgotten anybody, but Forefathers as well, another moderator. Are you having a show after this?
Yeah,
I'll listen for a bit.
Good night, Sure. Good night, everybody.
It's 1:15, but I'll listen for a bit. So thank you all for joining. Keep a date with us. We'll be back on Saturday. But before then, just immediately after this, maybe a few minutes after, Forefathers will be continuing with this security issue, how to deal with it, suggestions and things like that, where there's more fact-checking.
The title is does IQ or culture prevent Nigeria from fixing its insecurity issues? And I'm going to be playing that IQ this in. There's something seriously wrong with us, so that people can see that the disgrace we are. And I'm going to play a lot of videos that shows the problem that is going on. I begin to see that guy is right, what he's doing to black people.
Yep. You look at all of us right now. You look very vexed, but it's fine. I mean, it's required. We're talking about our nation, and nothing triggers your emotion.
I don't care about any of these people that are just mouth. People are dying in the country all the time. I was in Nigeria. I didn't want to leave because the place is supposed to be our country, and people are dying, and people are just here spewing things that don't even make. I don't even know why people are talking.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be watching. But anyway, thank you all for joining. Keep a date with us. We'll be back with Have Your Say 247 on Saturday, and we'll be back with 90 Minutes Africa on Sunday. Rudolph is on break. He doesn't do the midweek shows too much. So, like I said, if you're still awake, please join Forefathers in the next couple of minutes, where it will be talking about does our IQ level stop us from securing our nation, along those lines. Take care and God bless.